Sounds good to me.
Actually, Cashmere Goat, you're completely wrong. He says you wouldn't win any lawsuits. Good call. Wrong. Hate to tell you this, but defamation lawsuit would be 100% provable in a court of law because I've researched it. I know all about how defamation law works in the United States. I would basically not only get to shut down many of these channels on YouTube if I sued them, I'd actually be getting thousands and thousands of dollars in damages. Whatever money they actually received during said streams would actually be considered damages to me because they made all that money while defaming me, which is illegal. So I would actually not only win the lawsuits, but shut down their channels and make a bunch of money. But I'm not that kind of person, okay? I'm just not. I'm not going to deal with that shit. Instead, I'm just going to push forward positively and say, hey, let's not be negative people, and let's do fun stuff every day. Okay, guys? Nautilus, you are an idiot. He says it's fair use. Fair use has nothing to do with defamation, you complete dunderheaded fool. This is not copyright law. Yes, maybe under copyright law it's fair use. It still doesn't mean it's not defamation. It's completely different law. You're an idiot. This is what I'm up against. Morons who don't even understand the law. But, you know, why do I even bother? Because I know I'm probably talking to a 5-year-old, right? Okay. Anyway.
I used to singing, baby. Oh, come around, why don't you come around? Why don't you come around? Why don't you
good if you know me.
Come around, why don't you come around? Why don't you sing about a melody? Oh, come around, why don't you come around? Why don't you come around? Why don't you
good if you know me.
Come around, why don't you come around? Why don't you anything you want to sing about? Just sing it all out now, sing it all out. Let the world know what life's all about. Come around, why don't you come around? Why don't you come around? Why don't you come around?
Oh boy, we are theoretically at the end of the road, ladies and gentlemen. This is kind of where our journey concludes with this saga. Not altogether, I mean, I'm just saying this is pretty much the end game as it pertains to this particular saga. It's been fun. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newsroom and welcome to the Galtopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the pseudo snort report. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, how you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are doing well. We are at part 8 and the finale, at least for the most part, for this particular saga. It's been a long road, I have to say. At first, I'd like to say thank you to all of you for supporting this. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of you guys don't like the raw product. You know what I mean? You trust me enough to let me pick out the select pieces and then do all the cutting and everything. You guys want to be there to see that, and then I kind of serve it to you. I know a lot of you find it repulsing having to listen to the raw product. I understand that. I truly do, and whatnot. And I think that was just kind of something that the team here kind of wanted to put out there. You know what I mean? Like, get to actually see the raw product, see what he's actually going through before I slice him up. You know what I mean? Just so for a level of clarification. For some of you who want to see it, you know what I'm saying? And are we going to do that for everything? I couldn't tell you. I'm just kind of the pup in a sharp suit that talks a lot. I actually don't make that type of decision. I just get asked for my feedback on it. It probably won't be everything. Only things that are considered crucial, and this was considered crucial, to be honest. Because as far as I see it, ladies and gentlemen, and I said this in our last meeting here with the other members, Phil has lost a lot through this whole Twitch suspension, DMCA, and then the DDoSing. He lost a lot during the saga, to be honest, which in a lot of ways eclipse what he ended up gaining from the foreclosure, or the bankruptcy, sorry, foreclosure thing's still going. It eclipses what he ended up actually gaining from the bankruptcy. This hurts him so much more, and it undermines a lot of his air quote wins and the victories that are going on there, because it exposes to not just everybody, but to Phil in particular, that you have no value, that the system over there on Twitch and Twitch itself doesn't value you. It doesn't care about you. You're just a number. You're an employee. There is no protection no more. Okay? This is how it really is going to go. This is how the game is really going to be played. For example, ladies and gentlemen, the fact that Phil says that, I don't have a contact, I don't understand why I wasn't assigned one, I don't understand why people aren't there to help me. But as I've been pointing out throughout this saga, for the last 2 years he probably hasn't had a contact. So it doesn't necessarily undermine the fact that Hassan was the one who was assigned to him, and as Hassan moved up throughout the ranks of Twitch, he had other people watching out for Phil because Phil would be a high priority target, at least at one time. You're not anymore. You know what I'm saying? The thoughts over there were growing over this last two and a half years. There's been a lot of nonsense going on. You can't be protected anymore. They had to prioritize. I argue, ladies and gentlemen, 2 years ago they had to reprioritize. It's a thing. It's just how it goes. And then on top of that, there's rumblings going on with Pokimane after she took shots at Gundam, and so she's been taking hits on her Twitch channel and whatnot. Not that she's been, people had sat there and thrown claims to get her thrown off or anything like that. But like that shit's been under fire. Alinity's been under fire. You know what I'm saying? Amran's kind of the only one going around there smirking. It's not exactly the safest place on Twitch. And I think there's a lot of people realizing that, hey, whether this is the biggest platform or not, it doesn't matter if they don't value you at the end of the day. And it just proves that Phil is I think, honestly, my takeaway is, it not only is Phil vulnerable over there now, like it should have been, but it also just goes to show that you're just a tired old man literally grasping onto whatever you can, and it's not very much. And Twitch doesn't feel the need to protect you anymore. Twitch needs to try to protect itself. And the fact that you have COVID-19 going on right now, it's a clusterfuck. And I think when things go back to normal, it's only going to get worse for people like Phil. I think I proposed this to you over the last two of these, that I think Twitch is going to really sit there and look and be like, you know what? We need to reprioritize who our partners are or not. I think they need to do that. And if you have to, and like I said, there's a level of classism over there. If they need to break, maybe they won't say this publicly, if they're smart they won't, but if they have to break down partners into two separate categories, right, they'll probably do that. Now, as you guys know, ladies and gentlemen, I propose that they should demote partners who aren't earners, or people who have have partnerships over there and are only streaming to like 10 people and have been doing it for the last year because, they don't have any buzz anymore for whatever reason. I think they need to put them back down to affiliate status and let them earn their way back to their position if they can even get back. Or if you have someone who is a partner, like Phil, for example, but who is highly volatile and has has a lot of issues consistently, they need to be demoted. They need to be put on a probation like status for like 6 months and see if they can get their shit together. If they can, cool, they can get back in a partnership. If not, they stay in affiliate status. You know what I'm saying? I think the way the partnership over there is starting to look to me, and I've been thinking about this over the last couple of years since Tevin and those other fellows got knocked off, and just hearing how partnership is kind of flung around out there, is maybe, just maybe, Twitch is starting to smarten up and realize we can't get in the bed with everybody. You know what I mean? Just like how MCNs are on YouTube now. You can't get in bed with everybody. So now we need to really prioritize, who we should be associating with on that level and who we shouldn't. Affiliate is one thing, but partnership is another. You know what I mean? And you can't, and with the DMCAs that are already coming down on partners for music and all that other stuff and all those clips that need to be deleted and so on and so forth, I think this is another chance for Twitch to look at it and be like, we need to reevaluate. I think they should, to be honest. I'm not trying to push anybody out of position. I'm thinking, all I'm doing is articulating to you what somebody over there is already thinking and whatnot. It just happens to be that we're on the same wavelength. Now, how I would implement it and how they implement it will probably be two separate things, but I think that's the way it's going to eventually go. Either demote partners back down to affiliate, or you break up the partnership into two different categories. It's just what's going to be done, because since this whole pandemic, you're starting to see people for what they really are. And you're starting to see how valued people really are. In a lot of ways, you see who's really popular and who isn't. I think there's going to be a evaluation across the board, to be honest. So we'll have to wait and see. Time will tell. But I think that's a thing. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a long one. You know what I mean? This is 8 whole episodes of this shit. You guys have gotten 16 videos over this nonsense. Goddamn. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and give you guys a bit of a preview on the next 4 videos. Don't worry, there won't be any raw product. I'm gonna just serve it up to you guys. Well, I'm gonna present it to you. I'm gonna allow you guys to pick your cuts, and I'm gonna cook it up right in front of you, and I'm gonna serve it to you. So there won't be any prefacing with any of these. My next targets, ladies and gentlemen, the next 4 videos, I should say, will be the VestFest 3.0 Part 1, VestFest 3.0 Part 2, and then the pre-stream, or the pre-streams, I'm sorry, from July 25th and 26th. Those are going to be the next 4 videos. Then, ladies and gentlemen, sadly, it'll be somewhat of a hiatus, so to speak. We're gonna get back into those premiere streams, because I have a bunch of those in the clip. So you'll probably get a few of those a week from me. Some wrestling content, as I've been trying to keep up with on Sundays, and I'll try to sneak in a couple snort reports in between, and that'll be the ebb and flow for at least about a month or so. Now, while that's going on, I have been recording and setting up a bunch of stuff for the second channel. So I have a bunch of like condo walkthroughs for you guys, the raw stuff plus my own commentary. I have going over Panda's cooking and whatnot, the raw content, and then my going over the commentary. I'm gonna really attack Phil's Street Fighter FGC history, and then we're just gonna get back into some of the regular history stuff that will help strengthen me, I hope, in my information and my knowledge and my lore here. So that's kind of what we're looking at, but I still want to have something steady going on the main channel here while I'm doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, steel sharpens steel. So that's what my situation is looking like. So like I said, you know, you kind of get the best of both worlds, if you will. So that's something you guys can look forward to in the next like couple of weeks leading into the next few months anyway, leading up until the holidays. And then, you know, we have the 12 days of Goutmas / Snoutmas. That's in December, obviously. We'll go over Phil's Thanksgiving bullshit, yada yada yada. Things will be few and far between for the most part, but essentially I have a bit of an itinerary, an agenda of things that I want to go after, and that's what we're going to do. So like I said, thank you guys very much for your patience. I very much appreciate it. And let's not sit around unceremoniously. This is kind of our send-off for the send-off for this saga. So let's go ahead and get into it, and I'll see you guys in a few.
Anything you wanna sing about, just sing it all out now, sing it all out. Let the world know what life's all about. Around, why don't you, around, why don't you, around, why don't you, around, around, why don't you, around, why don't you, sing about a melody. Around, why don't you, around, why don't you, around, why don't you, around, around, why don't you, around, why don't you, anything you wanna sing about, just sing it all out now, sing it all out. Let the world know what life's all about.
Okay, so this idiot's not saying anything, so there's nothing wrong with your audio or anything like that. So let's go ahead and jump in a little bit to some of the current situations where we're at. Let's see here. As it pertains to the whole vest streak, Phil feels unappreciated on how that situation played out and how it didn't work out for him, which is absolutely hilarious, because all he did was try to copy what he did on the last vest streak, and he expected them to just take it. Oh, I did it this way last time, and you guys liked it, so why? I just thought I would just copy it and do it again. There's no innovation, and that innovation comes from a lack of creativity. And on top of the fact that you got $20,000 and you didn't want to do anything. Like, that's legit what it really comes down to. He got $20K and didn't want to do a goddamn thing. He wanted to just regurgitate the same pig sloth that he had given them the first time, and they were supposed to just be happy with it. At the end of the day, he really just expected them to be happy for him. Be happy for Darkside Phil that you guys gave him $20,000. He's a fucking nut. He's a goddamn nut when you look at it from that standpoint. Which only shows this absolutely absurd disconnect between Darkside Phil and reality in general. You know what I mean? You got $20K to put a vest on. You're nothing more, ladies. This is nothing more, ladies and gentlemen, than basically Barbie dress up. This is Barbie Playhouse. You know what I'm saying? This is literally Mr. Potato Head with additional accessories and features. That's all this is. You know what I'm saying? So you have a bunch of wheelchair symbols using their Lord and Savior, if you will. I should say Snot and Snort and Snot. No, Snort and Savior. Whatever. They're using him to play dress up every day. That's essentially what he gets paid $100 for.
All right, hello everyone on the stream.
Shut the fuck
FYI,
up. And you're sitting there, and he has the nerve to sit there and bash people like PewDiePie, bash people like Ninja, bash people like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, people who are eccentric, or used to be eccentric, but whatever. Used to be eccentric with their look. You know what I'm saying? This is how they express themselves. He called them nothing more than clowns and idiots who sit there and dress up in awkward ways and color their hair and do all this freaky stuff, as he used to say, to make money. But you think that there's any type of respectability on you putting on a vest, on multicolored vests for $100 a pop or $100 a stream? Oh, you want to go ahead and try to say, oh, well, Dr. Disrespect wears a vest? That's part of his persona. He doesn't, no one in the Champions Club had to pay him to put that on. That was what you get. You know what I'm saying? That was already part of this package. That was a package deal. You know what I'm saying? Not this idiot right here who has his little fucking Sonic hat or that what was that lame brain shit that just absolute nightmare fuel? That Yoshi costume. It wasn't like that autistic shit. This is like Dr. Disrespect. That was part of the costume. That was part of his persona. He lives that. He breathes that. You put all this shit on for profit. And you got the nerve to call those people Muppets and clowns, and they only do this for money, when legit that's all you do. You say that these people do all that to attract the children, but you're legit a children's entertainer. He is legit a clown, ladies and gentlemen. But he has the nerve to sit there and slap other people, or try to slap other people who actually live that. They actually go out of their house, leave their houses looking the way they look. Well, maybe not Doc, but he does go out in public like that. You know, and whatever. Phil don't. Maybe he should. Might look a little bit more normal. People probably wouldn't be scared of him instead of running out of his house looking like a half-peeled potato head. But semantics. So it's this type of disconnect and this type of vulnerability that he's opened himself up to now, because now this is a thing. He expects this now. He expects to be paid $100 each and every stream from here on out. And I guarantee you, the day that they really don't hit it, either it's going to be some clown mode, bullshit, right? Or it's going to be some fucking piggy gay ops behind the scenes, or he's going to go ahead and just or he'll temporarily postpone that and then say the next day, oh, I ended up getting $20 after the stream or whatever, so the vest stream's still going. He's not going to want to give up on it. And like a typical coward, he's not going to want to start over. He's not going to want to try to start the vest streak over, because he's going to be like, oh, we're up to, I'm going to throw a number out there, we're up to 250 and whatever, and if we start over, I don't know if we'll ever hit that again. Well, you're not going to know until you try. But see, Phil don't want to try, though. He wants that to be his testimony, his testament, I should say. He wants that to be, no, actually, I'm right. He wants this to be his testament, and he wants this to be the testimony to the people and their loyalty to him. He doesn't want to start over, because if they don't hit it, then it's even more of a failure than them not being able to continue the first run, if that makes sense to you. And or if that makes sense. And so on and so forth. So you have an individual who complains and boasts in the same breath, in the same snort, about how long his legacy is, but then again, every time he's gotten slapped down Instead of starting over from scratch, instead of reinventing himself, he wants to make these little minor changes and keep hobbling along. It's like you break your leg, and instead of letting your leg fully heal and then go through rehabilitation and so you can come back stronger than you were before, just slap a brace on it and I'll live with it like this. Perfect example of that, look at his back. He could have gotten that fixed 20 times over. Never did it because he didn't want to go through the strain, he didn't want to go through the pain, he didn't want to put in the effort. He could have had a better quality of life, he chose not to. You know what I mean? It's a wild type of situation and whatnot. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, and for any of you DSP fanboys out here, you're killing him. You may think that you're helping him, you may think you're getting back at people like me, you're killing him. You're killing him. You're slowly but surely letting this man con you guys into giving him money in all these different weird and retarded ways, and you're giving him more and more reason why. You're giving him more and more reason not to actually be a man and take care of himself, not to be an actual mature adult and handle what he needs to handle. Who's the child in this situation? You guys or him? And I understand because I've had a chance to talk to a few of you. I won't name you because I gave my word I wouldn't. That it's almost like you guys feel like you're taking care of him. I don't know why that is a fetish, but whatever. I didn't judge you guys then. I won't judge you now. But you're killing him. You're killing him doing this. It's the reason why the fucker is a fucking alcoholic. It's the reason why he has an addiction to gacha games. You guys enable it. Is a reason why, what's her name? Chantel can't walk on her own now, and she has that little like walker with wheels thing now because her fans and those people who in the feeders, but the feeders wanted that anyway, but because her fans enabled her to do that. There's a reason why she got most of her belly ripped out and she can't have kids. Same thing with Amber Lynn. There's a reason why she's where she's at now, where now she's miserable, bedridden. Becky's fucked, by the way. Sorry, Becky, but you're fucked. Becky's fucked. And Amber's never gonna have kids unless she adopts. But she can never have any of her own kids because she chose to eat her way through life than actually make her way through life. Same thing with Chantel. You guys are doing the exact same shit with Phil, just in a different way. And when Phil has a fucking seizure or a heart attack or an aneurysm or a brain aneurysm or whatever the shit is that happens to him, and if it happens on stream, you guys are going to be the ones to live with that. Don't run the Kiwi Farms. Don't run to Detractor Twitter. Don't run to Detractor YouTube. Don't run to Reddit and say it's your fault for this. It's your fault that he is the way he is. No, that's your fault. That is your fault. Because if you really gave a fuck about him, you would have helped him do what was right for himself. You enabled him. And then you either believed it and took this into your own hands, or you believed his bullshit and made it seem like this was a war. You guys already lost that war. There was a war, but you guys already lost. You already lost. And one of the reasons why you lost is because he gave up. He gave up on you. He gave up on himself. So, but go ahead and keep playing this. Because the day he croak, I'll report on it. Sadly. But I'll do it. And then guess what else is going to happen? I'm going to go right back to my DSP lore like nothing ever happened. I'm not going to lose a wink of sleep over that shit. But you guys, though, you guys should think about it, though. You guys should really think about it. What hurts him worse? Or what hurts him more, I should say. I apologize. What hurts him more? Some asshole who makes a video about him? Or the assholes who give him money and is the very reason why he won't go out and get himself in shape. He won't go out and get himself checked up at a doctor. He won't go out, right, and try to better his life in some way, shape, or form. Because begging for money isn't helping, and he can't beg forever. And as the years go on, he's giving you guys less. He's giving you guys less and less and less. Even the vest celebration isn't even his idea. It's an idea that somebody else gave to him. And he just ran with it. Just think about it. Welcome to my TED Talk. Here we go.
Starting momentarily. I just need to get the chat working on my laptop, and then I can talk with you about this absolutely ridiculous situation going on. It is continued attacks from the same individual, for sure. And I need to talk about it, because at this point, it looks like, unless I get some kind of resolution, I'm going to have to leave Twitch this time. I don't want to. But I got no resolution 2 weeks ago. It's happening again. These false DMCA claims. So give me a minute. I'll get the chat going and then we'll talk. Okay? Thanks. I'll be right back.
All right. First things first. Let's see here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Darksydekaren. Twitch cannot keep suspending me for false DMCA claims. I need answers. This is from July 31st of 2020, our current year of gout. Secondly, he was supposed to leave the Saturday the 18th if he didn't get an answer. And guess what? He didn't get an answer. So why is he still there? Just saying. Just saying. Why are we waiting damn near 13 days later to talk about, oh, I'm going to have to leave if they don't help me? They were supposed to help him the next day. He got suspended the first time on the 17th. They were supposed to have an answer for him and a resolution on the 18th at 1 p.m. and he never got it. He got unsuspended the same day, but he made that ultimatum to them after he got unsuspended, and nothing happened. Why not? And the why not doesn't even matter. Why didn't he actually stand by his word and leave and go back to YouTube? Something to think about. I'm in a rather talkative mood today. Oh, shit. Crazy stuff. It's funny, too. Briefly. I'm going to try to be brief, but you know me, I'm not brief. I haven't followed a situation that Darksydekaren has been in this close probably since the Escort saga. And I followed that pretty close. Well, the girlfriend saga, Blood for the Blood Gods, the Escort saga, and I mean that was huge. Like that whole thing was huge. Like it was just the Escort saga, but then you had all those different arcs in between that led us up to the finale. I'd like to revisit that one day. I mean that would be. I'd have to do multiple videos on that though, because that shit's fucking extremely long. But goddamn, I haven't followed anything close since that, and I think that was like the first big Darksydekaren story I ever followed. Well, I had ever done, I should say. That was crazy. There was all kinds of mess. All kinds of mess. But at the same time, though, too, it was a pretty crazy time, you know? Like, everybody was sharing information. There's, like,
all right,
YouTube
everyone.
was, shut the fuck
well,
up. There were so many people pumping out information, man. There were so many people trying to fact check and verify. And then just the speculation that was going on was wild, man. I remember having a bunch of good back and forths with like people like James the Lesser just throwing theories back at each other. It was a real fun time, man. It was a really fun time. Holy shit. Anyway, sorry. Now it was nice to reminisce about that. Let's hear what this idiot's got to say.
Here we are again. Not that I want to be in this position.
I mean, you're a failure though. You should be very I don't know. This is an accommodating type of position for you. You should be comfortable in this. This is all you do all day, is fail. Miserably. Like, this should be the thing. This should be the ebb and flow for you. But another thing, though, too, that I'm just now thinking about. I had said that the foreclosure, or the bankruptcy, the bankruptcy has been overshadowed by this particular situation there. Or here, I should say. The interesting thing is, ladies and gentlemen, is that he had $140,000 dismissed, right? He's gonna let that right there be overshadowed by him literally, legit, being held and protected on Twitch for the last 3 years. And not even the last 3 years, literally only the last year. Literally from late 2016 all the way up till he had Tevin and those other guys kicked off of Twitch, to be honest, or deplatformed, which was what, August of 2018, I think, is when all those guys got hit, or around that time, I should say. That was pretty much Phil's run of protection. After that, that was it. After that, that was done. Him getting Tevin and those 3 guys deplatformed was the last favor that he was able to call upon the Don Hassan. And that was it. After that, he's been out here butt naked and didn't even realize it. Running around like the proverbial idiot with his hair on fire running through the streets. That's amazing. That's one of the most amazing things as it pertains to the Darkside Phil type of, to the whole Darkside Phil story, or manga/anime as I like to call it. Or anime/manga. I need to talk to Super Sloth Pants now that I think about it. Big ups to her. Is that in public, he portrays himself as the victim. He portrays himself as this tragic hero that's tortured by these hordes of brain-dead idiots and so on and so forth. But behind the scenes, he's fucking people over left and right. He's convincing other people to fuck over other people left and right. And now, he doesn't have anybody to call on. He's legit the proverbial idiot, the proverbial king with a crown that's slowly crumbling, right? Like it's flaking because it's not real gold, right? Sitting amongst his minions in this dilapidated castle because his house is falling apart. And he don't know that because he's an idiot and he won't pay someone to go out there and inspect it and whatnot. And looking on Zillow and some of these other places trying to establish and figure out what the true value of his home is. But if your house has problems, then it obviously drives down the value until those problems are resolved, which this idiot says he don't have no money for. You know what $20,000 in home improvements can do and how that can drive the value of your home up? Semantics. Anyway, you have this proverbial idiot that everything around him is crumbling. His crown is useless. You have a bunch of mouth-drooling idiots that aren't worth a damn outside of the money that's in their pockets, and you're about to get that in a minute anyway. And the house ain't worth shit. Your queen doesn't give a fuck about you. She ain't loyal. And your stepson, shit, I put Jasper above Joffrey all day, and he's waiting to claw you in your sleep if he gets the first chance. What the fuck kind of life is that? And then the next big windfall that Phil's waiting for, it's gonna sound brutal, but I'm gonna say it because that's what you guys are here for, is he's just waiting for his parents to die. So he can go ahead and take their shit. To save his shit. Legit robbing Peter to pay Paul. Or is it robbing Paul to pay Peter? You guys know what the thing is. Sorry, you guys know the analogy. Same shit. That's legit what this guy's life is. He has nothing else. He has nothing else. That's why he spends so much time on Detractor Twitter and on Kiwi Farms, because that's pretty much the real outlet. That's the only real outlet, I should say, that he has with the outside world, which are allegedly these people who hate him. But yet he pulls more information, more knowledge. He's probably been taught more from those two medians than anything else. And both of those medians are firmly detractor medians. Now, granted, Kiwi Farms is really there to watch the trash fire, but you have a lot of detractors over there too. And this is the life that he lives. That's pathetic. That is absolutely fucking pathetic. And now, people were like, in the last couple of videos, we're saying, isn't it kind of brutal to sit there and say that he just begs and he's not a gamer? Where's the games at? The game is his life. And each one of us has a controller. This is multiplayer, baby. And we all having a great time with it. He's not, but oh well, he's the game. He wanted to be played that way. That's how he's being played. He wanted to run around and act like this was WWF/WWE. All right, great. So now he's in the Royal Rumble and he got eliminated first. You know what I mean? And the only thing is now is someone put the cheat code in, so now everybody someone keeps going outside the ring without being disqualified and throws his ass back in to keep getting beat up. And then we all stand around and watch him get thrown out again. Cheat code goes back in and we just keep doing it over and over again, and he can't stop it. That's the real legacy of Darkside Phil, at least on YouTube and Twitch. It wasn't about him playing video games, he became the video game. He became the entertainment. Instead of entertaining people, he became the entertainment. And we just passed him around. Pretty much. Like a bunch of kids in like kindergarten or preschool passing around the common cold. We just passed him around to each other. That's legit what he is. And he'll never escape that. Ever. Ever. And the detractor community is bigger than it's ever been. He can go ahead and keep blaming Tevin or blaming the restreamers, LSB and Dark Dave Mirrors, big ups to all of them. He can keep blaming them all they want. He can keep blaming SnortBucks or Mighty D all he want. He ain't getting nowhere with it. And if anything even remotely comes across piggish in any one of those guys' situation, that shit's going to hit Twitter and everybody's going to go after Phil's head. And he can't even rally the troops on the King of Hate forums anymore because there ain't nobody there. There's legit nobody there. Or no one there that can actually help him. I mean, shit, he even barely brings up the forums anymore because he knows it's dead. And it's the last bastion that he's still paying money out for each and every year. And for what? To have a dead site to represent all of your failures and shortcomings over your whole span on the internet? The King of Hate forums, a little bit of lore. The King of Hate forums, ladies and gentlemen, was a forum made by fans for fans to talk about Darkside Phil and his content. Phil ended up having a fallout with the two fellas who essentially designed and made the forums, so he commandeered it from them. Not only because he wanted to have control of what people could say to him on his own fan-made site, but also he was thinking he could probably get some type of revenue out of it. Which he probably could have, but he didn't do it properly, obviously, and that's why it's the fucking shithole that it's in. Anybody with a bit of innovation would have turned that shit into a full-blown website and made it accessible to anybody. Just imagine how many hits, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this popping. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's say, for example, that I start a site that is completely devoted to detractors. And when I mean detractors, I don't mean just Darkside Phil. I mean Low Tier God. I mean Wings of Redemption. I mean Darkside Phil, Wings of Redemption, Low Tier God, Amberlynn Reed, Chantel, Chris Chan, whoever it is that you feel like detracting on, you can come to this site. Not like Kiwi Farms, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, something a little bit more tame than that, but a site that's completely dedicated to detractors. Are you a detractor who is starting off on YouTube and you're not catching any hits? You can go ahead and put your site onto our website and whatnot, and we'll get you some views. We'll try to go ahead and drum some of that. Drum some of that up. Are you someone who have an article that maybe you've written, maybe an analysis of some type on any detractor of choice? You can place it there. Like, for example, Lightside Bill. He's sitting there working on a video at current for talking about cults and how that basically has to do with Phil because they both go together. You know what I'm saying? Let's say Lightside Bill wanted to have that in written form first before he actually turns it into a video. That could be posted there. He could get feedback. He could even collaborate with some people before he actually puts the video out. You could talk to anybody about anything there. You know what I'm saying? You could do almost anything. Well, under those circumstances, you could easily attach your Google AdSense account to that site and have ads playing on there like any other site, like Rock Paper Shotgun, IGN, so on and so forth, and it generate revenue. Not only to keep the site running, but to pay people to help contribute to the site. You know what I'm saying? You could have people run it. You could have people help monitor it. You could pay for people to put fan art on there, or to do the official fan art for the page. You could do a bunch of things, right? You could expand upon it. You could have Twitter feeds on there, link to your account, link to the actual website's official Twitter page, whoever. You know what I'm saying? You could do a multitude of things if you have the creativity, the drive, and the versatility to do so. Phil could have flushed out the King of Hate forums into its own full-blown site. He could have done that in the span of years. You know what I mean? He could officially stream through that. He could have done a bunch of things. He could link. It could literally have been an actual hub, a one-stop shop for Darkside Phil. And what this idiot should have done is opened it up to everybody: detractors, trolls, haters, critics, and his own fans. Just imagine if even 20% of the people who hit up the Darkside Phil part of Kiwi Farms and Reddit and Locale Wiki came right to Darkside Phil's site and had open range of the site to say whatever they wanted, and Phil didn't do anything about it. Just imagine how many clicks does that register. Just imagine how much revenue could have been driven, that could have been risen or raised, and could have gone right into his coffers for that. You know what I mean? But to see, the thing is he's one of these idiots like Pokimane who has to control not only the flow of information, but control not only that, also can, sorry, Jesus Christ, Sorry, it's early. He's one of these people who needs to control not only the flow of information, but what is said about him at all times. There is no such thing as free speech. Free speech. He has to have full and total control of what's being said about him, fan or foe alike. And when you live like that, people are going to prod you, and people are going to keep prodding you. And you think that you can just disappear into the wind for a little while, or you can take a break, and all that's going to go away. Nothing's going to go away. When you come back, get ready to put your gloves back on. That's all that is. We just hit the pause button. The game ain't over. If you haven't seen, if any of you have been keeping up with Alinity and her bullshit, that proves that. Nothing stops. When you play that hard on that level, nothing stops. You play till the end. Period. Period. And people like Darkside Phil, people like Pokemon, people like Alinity, Low Tier God, Wings of Redemption, a lot of these people never got that. And that's why they're at where they're at. That's exactly why they're at where they're at. This is how the situation works. And even though the internet and how we've used the internet and how we've made money off the internet and how we communicate on the internet is still very much in its infancy, maybe starting to get into its adolescence, if you will, it's still relatively new. In 20 years, this shit's going to get a whole lot worse. You know what I mean? It's going to get a whole lot worse. And if these people don't learn now how to fix their shit, the face that you're looking at right there, that's going to make a good screenshot, by the way. You're going to see a whole lot of people like that. You're going to see a whole lot of people turning on their streams being absolutely fucking miserable, and are still going to try to tell you with a straight face, this is my hobby, this is my profession, this is my career, I love this, I love you, I love what I do. He said all those things. Does he look like he loves the shit? Does he look like he cares about this shit? Jesus Christ, I have more enthusiasm about this shit than he do. You know what I'm saying? Ask anybody who knows me over here, dude. I'd be giddy as fuck when I'm ready to get behind this mic. Because if I didn't like what I do, I wouldn't do it. And I don't have to do it. He do. He's stuck doing this shit. And all the interaction that he gets from this, or that he gets out of his life in general, is essentially from the hate. Right? Because those idiots over there are only there to give him money. He doesn't value them. He doesn't look at them as people. They're just ATMs. They're only ATMs to him. And then the only person that he probably actually wants some affection from is Kat. She ain't going to do that. She ain't got time for him. I mean, they're roommates. She's not supposed to give that much of a fuck about him. What else does this man have to live for? If his life, ladies and gentlemen, was so goddamn good and so robust, why does he look the way he does now? Because shouldn't his real life outweigh the bullshit online? If not, then he needs to reevaluate, don't he? Or maybe he just doesn't have a real life. This is real life. This is all he has. This is all he's ever strived for, and that's all he's ever going to get. Something to think about.
Okay, I don't. This is horrible, terrible. Again, here we are. What is it? 2 weeks later? Today. So for frame of reference here, in the time frame and everything that's going on. All right. Today is Friday, the 31st of July, 2020. It is exactly 2 weeks since I was last suspended on Twitch for false DMCA claims, which were proven to be 100% false. It was a big conspiracy theory, or not really conspiracy theory, but conspiracy, and I was actually construed by someone who has been giving me DMCA issues for a very long time. Okay, by the name of the Superhound. This guy has
the same guy who he threatened on YouTube and then played victim to on Twitch, by the way, which led to his second suspension off of Twitch, by the way. Let's just keep that in mind.
With me constantly, over and over, for the past few months with false DMCAs against various different services. Notably, the one that really he affected me the worst with was Twitter, where he took down all my shit off of Twitter.
Now, keep in mind, Twitter is also that same social media site that doesn't mean shit about shit. His words, not mine. That he didn't really give a fuck about. You know what I'm saying? He can always make another account, no big deal. But now he wants to go ahead and put that on the... He wants to put that on your plate as well and be like, hey, this is good, so please eat it. No one's paying for that shit. Get this shit the fuck out of here.
Really bad that this happened, because it shows that Twitter has absolutely no defense against false DMCAs. He actually claimed that selfie pictures I took of myself and made my channel profile were his property. Okay? Never even got those cleared up. I tried, and never even got those cleared up because I did counterclaims and Twitter never cleared them up. Okay? So here we are, 2 weeks ago.
Apparently that verification on that verification check mark on Twitter don't mean jack shit.
Super Hound gives me 2 false DMCA claims against my Twitch channel, Darksydekaren, for the actual crowns that are the subscriber badges. If you subscribe to the channel, you get a crown of different levels, and the longer you're a subscriber, you basically get a crown of a different color.
The longer you're part of the cult, the more they reward you with absolute shit. It's an illusion.
Caliber to show how long you've been a loyal supporter of the channel. And he fabricated this, the Superhound guy fabricated this situation where he claimed that he was a contracted artist, who's a person who's contracted on the internet to make emotes and channel badges for people. And he claimed that he was this artist, that this artist in 2015 had made these badges for a different streamer completely, and made an actual fabricated blog post. Okay, this is a blog post where basically he claimed that this was 2015, these badges were created, and I had stolen them. I had stolen them from this site. Now, the truth of the matter was, it was my moderator who had created those badges for me over 3 years ago when I come back to Twitch and became a full-time streamer. We wanted something nice, and I worked directly with my moderator.
Take a sip. Speaking of which, Popsicola is no longer there, interestingly enough. Haven't gotten completely into what the fallout is for that yet. It seems like a multitude of things, but to be honest, there was a build-up, as it is with usually most Phil supporters and loyalists. But that's a thing. I would assume behind the scenes, Phil shitted on somebody about this whole shit, because, you know, Phil needs to blame everybody for everything. And Popsicola probably came to the conclusion that, you know, I don't need to deal with this bullshit. I don't need this. And especially from someone from, at least from what I've been told, as it pertains to Popsicola, who was looking at, who had aspirations, if you will, of being a big-time streamer. And I guess he was living vicariously through Phil, which is weird because failure is failure, and failure certainly breeds failure. So why would you go through him? Semantics. And after leaving Phil, he's come to the realization that he'll never be a big streamer. Now, when he says he, I legit wonder, does he mean Phil or does he mean himself? Either which way, inspiring to be a big-time streamer is a long shot, certainly. But what made you think that this idiot right here could contribute anything to that? What makes you think, ladies and gentlemen, that this idiot right here gives a fuck about any of those people over there or their dreams and aspirations? And more importantly, what could he actually do to help you obtain that? It wasn't that Popsicola was given a bad hand. He just made poor choices. It is what it is.
I went back and forth with my moderator for several days, designing these emotes.
Oh, and also Kekken, apparently he's freed himself too, and whatnot, which is good for him, and good for him. Like I said, him and Brian need to collab more, to be honest. That's what they should do. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, like, I don't know, like, the detractors should reach out to the two of them and then, like, form a trios and, like, I don't know, Modern Warfare or some shit like that. That'd probably be fun.
We came to the final point where this is what I have used for 3 years. The whole thing was fabricated. And then what ended up happening was the whole truth of the matter came out because people contacted the person who had supposedly been the contractor who made those original sub badges, the crowns. They said it wasn't me. The person who supposedly on this blog post was having these made for them said, I never requested these aren't mine. The whole thing came out as a conspiracy against me to try to get my channel shut down. So what happened is this happened exactly 2 weeks ago today around the same exact time. Okay? It was about 1 p.m. 2 weeks ago, and it was 1:30 p.m. this time that this happened. False DMCA claims against my channel. What happened 2 weeks ago? Well, the weekend happened, and I didn't get any notice from Twitch about what had happened. No email, nothing. So it sucked. I couldn't respond. Finally, on Monday, someone from the DMCA department responded and gave me the information. I filed a counter.
Now,
DMCA.
as I said before, ladies and gentlemen, one of two things should have happened, and Twitch and Darkside Phil kind of failed. Well, Twitch failed Darkside Phil. Phil failed Phil. Twitch should have just should have reached out to him and said, hey, you got a DMCA thing, a DMCA against your account. We'll figure, once we get the information, we'll send that to you so you can resolve it. In the case that this happens again, though, we're just going to put your account on ice, or we're going to suspend your account till Monday. Monday morning, at whatever time, it'll be made available to you. This isn't to punish you, but to protect you, if you will. I'm not saying Twitch would do that. I don't even know. I mean, they certainly could do that. I don't know if they would, but it's a thing. Hypothetical pignosis. For Phil, when he got bumped off the first time, didn't know shit, and then they let him back on that same day, like 7 hours later, he was an idiot for going back. He shouldn't have gone back Friday night. He shouldn't have streamed Saturday, and then he got bumped off Sunday. He shouldn't have streamed at all. He should have went ahead and done his little pitter-patter, piggy begging streams over the weekend, collect his money, which he would have, and then started off fresh Monday with hopefully more information from Twitch. But see, Phil didn't do that. He thought he was still protected. He thought he was still safe. Look at his face when I'm saying this. He thought he was protected. He thought he was safe. And so he ran right back over there thinking, oh, you know, Mama Twitch is going to protect me. Mama Twitch already abandoned you. You don't see the empty pack of cigarettes that are on the table there, champ? She's not coming back. She says she's going to come back. She's not coming back. And rip to that. End of story. And he's been fucked ever since. He's been fucked ever since. Because he was a goddamn idiot and just couldn't take the weekend off. At least from Twitch. Right? Just take the goddamn weekend off until he gets more information. Spend time with your wife that you said that you want to spend so much more time with, but you can't because you have to work. Spend time with Jasper. Like I said, just do a 2-hour or 4-hour begging stream on YouTube in the morning, and then you're done for the rest of the day. But no, though, he wants to prove that this is a legitimate job, and he works hard. Look at where the fuck that got him. Fucking moron.
Claims they were processed almost immediately, and my channel was restored, and I've had no issue streaming for just under 2 weeks now. So I'm thinking, gee, maybe, just maybe, this has been fixed. Okay, maybe.
Wait, you said that you got suspended, and then it's been the last 2 weeks, and you haven't had any problems. Didn't you get hit with 2 DMCA strikes as well as be suspended 2 times within the last 2 weeks? What the fuck are you talking about? And you got DDoS attack. Whatever.
Twitch now is on top of it. Now, in the meantime, since 2 weeks ago, I put in a request to Twitch through their log system to get a new partner manager.
He's put in multiple requests.
I wanted someone who was a direct line of contact with Twitch, who would help me and manage me with issues with my partnership. So if this ever happened again, I would have someone to talk to. Well, that log I opened on the 20th of July. As of today, the 31st of July, that log remains in my requests queue on Twitch, completely untouched as a new log, never assigned, never dealt with. They ignored me for 11 straight days. I tweeted Twitch support. I tweeted Twitch directly. No responses. I made videos 2 weeks ago saying...
But I thought you said you had no issues over the last 2 weeks, though. But now you're saying that you put in a log, which in actuality you put in multiple logs, and your current log is not being addressed. It hasn't been opened. They're ignoring it. But they did that to the first couple, they did that to the first few logs that you put in as well. And then you got generic automated responses for the most part. All the responses where an actual human, in air quotes, talked to him, that was all done behind the scenes. That was all done when he wasn't streaming it live or whatever and whatnot. And he said that they apologized to him profusely and said, oh, we're so sorry that we weren't able to get the information to you. We're working hard behind the scenes to make all this happen. But then he still got suspended again, and he still has 2 DMCA strikes. Huh? Shit's not adding up.
Really want to talk to someone, at Twitch about this. This is ridiculous. I need a direct point of contact at Twitch, because if this happens again, I need someone to talk to so that I can get it cleared up. I can't have my business shut down. Unlike many other streamers, me live streaming on Twitch is 100% my source of income. 100%. You know,
that is his fault. That is his fault. For as much as I shit on Pokimane, and Alinity doesn't really count because, let's be honest, she has multiple men taking care of her. As much as I shit on Pokimane and I take shots at Amaran, Amaran for sure actually works pretty fucking hard. Like, if you really, really look at it. You know what I'm saying? Between her modeling, the cosplaying, and all the other bullshit that she does when it comes to Twitch, her YouTube channel, so on and so forth. The chick, whether you like how she makes her money through the White Knights and the Simps or not, you know what I'm saying? She legit is actually doing shit. People could make the same argument for Pokey, if you want to say that. I mean, she kind of just comes across a lot like... She's kind of like Bad Bunny in the fact that she just reacts to content on YouTube. And that's it. And plays games incredibly poor. Like, well, better than Phil, but still poorly for the standards that she says she's at. But she also has other stuff that she does behind the scenes. She actually has her hands in a bunch of stuff. She's a multi-millionaire for a reason. Which is interesting. Why would a multi-millionaire feel the need to take down a YouTube channel and will attack someone's YouTube channel and take down their Twitch channel because they had an opinion of her? The world may never know. Anyway, that's a situation all in itself. But the point is that they actually kind of do shit. They actually have other shit going on, and they had to build up and work to those things, whether any of us want to admit to that or not. Phil didn't do that. Yeah, Phil dabbled his hands in trying to shill one-up boxes and loot boxes and shit like that. He tries to shill his fucking terrible merch on his fucking Teespring instead of going to maybe another a shirt design place and get better designs and better quality. He dabbled in all of those things for a little while, and when they didn't have the big payday that other content creators had because they were more diligent and they put more time in and actually paid people to give them high quality designs and stuff like that, it all just kind of floundered and fell apart. The reason why Twitch is his sole income, which is really just crowdfunding, and which really just comes from begging. I'm not saying that crowdfunding and begging are the same thing. I'm saying that he begs through crowdfunding. That's his own fault. Nobody else. You know what I mean? Nobody else. There's no reason why he can't have the big sponsored deals like other streamers have. Just be transparent about it. He don't want to do that. He wants to shit on people who get early copies, who get free games and stuff like that, despite the fact that he's participated in all those things at one time or another himself. He wanted to make himself seem that he was above that. He wanted to make himself seem like a man of the people, and the people were going to take care of him. This is all part of the pignosis, by the way. And in turn, he fucked himself over with any type of opportunities directly with game companies or publishers. Whose fault is that? Realistically, whose fault is that? There's something to think about. The reason why that shit is his sole income is his fault. Nobody else. It's solely his fault.
Really get anything at all from anywhere else. A little bit of extra money from Patreon, all right, but it's really the streams on Twitch is my living. If I can't stream, I can't make a living. I have to go somewhere else to do what I do. And
yes, you have to go somewhere else to beg. Good point. On top of that, though, let's be frank, ladies and gentlemen. On top of begging on Twitch and his little bit of money from PayPal, from Patreon, which are the very people he don't even shout out. He don't even acknowledge those people anymore. So sad. He also has people who donate directly to his PayPal, or PayPals, I should say, at Darksydekaren@hotmail.com, as well as at DSPGaming@hotmail.com. Because, he's got 2 PayPal accounts. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. The Darkside Phil one is the one you hear about the most because that's where the majority of his Twitch contributions go. But then he has the Darkside Phil at hotmail.com as well. I would assume that's for those special cult members who want to send him large amounts of money. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have no clue exactly how much money this guy makes, in air quotes, behind the scenes. And when Tevin made that revelation, that was probably a year ago now, I think, when to the effect, I should say, that on what is that? I think I have it over here on this. Yeah, on Streamlabs, there is a weekly tips leaderboard there, right? Which would show you exactly how much money he's actually making, or whoever is the top person who's actually tipping him. And we saw an $1,100 tip when Tevin revealed that shit, and then the next day Phil got rid of it. But that tip never showed up on stream, so how did he get it? The world may never know. So don't make it seem, so don't let him fool you guys or hit you with the pignosis that he doesn't have other ways of getting money from these idiots who give him that money. You know what I mean? If it's not Planet Jeff under one of his many aliases, I'm sure, or if it isn't Golden Colts or whoever else, he's making his money somehow. He's pulling in a large amount of money somehow. And most of that money, ladies and gentlemen, is not being reported to the federal government. Imagine that.
What we saw 2 weeks ago was some good news. My viewership is willing to leave Twitch if they have to and follow me somewhere else. I don't want to leave Twitch. I want to stay on Twitch. I love streaming on Twitch. I have no problems with Twitch. I love the chat system, the emotes, the community we have built over the past 3.5 years since I became a full-time streamer.
You do realize that the community 3.5 years ago was bigger than what it is now, right? You do realize that in the last 3.5 years, you've had a multitude of situations of whales being chased away, other pay piggies being chased away, infighting, gay ops, or piggy gay ops as I like to call it, revolts. He had his most loyal member, his sergeant of arms, if you will, go and start a war, or try to, on Kiwi Farms and lost. And now he's a permanent resident over there. They say he's actually a pretty cool person to talk to, but went over there, went to war for you and lost, and now is a permanent member over there on that side of it. That's the community he built over the last 3.5 years, ladies and gentlemen. It's been utter bullshit. It's been utter garbage. It's literally like watching fucking Nero fiddle as Rome burned. Even though historically that didn't actually happen. Semantics. It's like that. He literally snorted. He literally was snorting on the top of Galtopia as he watched Rome burn. That's literally what happened. As hot grease went ahead and flooded the streets. That's what happened. That's what he did. That's the community that he built up. And now look. Now you got a bunch of just people in there talking about inserting shit up each other's asses. And the ones who actually do want to talk about the truth or want to talk about anything else that would be stimulating outside of talking about Darkside Phil, they can't do it. They get timed out or banned. That's the community that he built over the last 3 years, ladies and gentlemen. Take it all in.
I don't want to leave Twitch. I want to stay with the business, but I can't have a job where at any moment someone can maliciously lie about a DMCA takedown and say, oh, I'm a copyright holder and I want Phil's stream down, and Twitch will completely shut down my channel. And now I have to jump through hoops, issuing counter notices to the false claims to get them cleared up. There's no guarantee of a time frame of when they're actually going to respond to those counterclaims. Last time it was almost instant, but that was because I was waiting all weekend and I've been talking about it all weekend, right? So anyway, I don't know what to do because this really sucks, this situation. For 11 days, I've asked Twitch, give me a direct point of contact, talk to me about this. Nothing. I got nothing at all. I've been ignored by Twitch. They didn't even assign my request to anyone to look at, all right? Now, I've had no issues with Twitch for nearly 2 weeks. But now, today, I'm streaming Destroy All Humans. Here's the situation, guys. I want you to know why I'm streaming here on YouTube, what's going on. My Twitch channel's been suspended again. What happened? I'll tell you. Well, I was live streaming.
Third time, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Third time, just to keep count.
Destroy All Humans Remake, a game that came out last week. It took me a few days to get to it. I played it for about maybe an hour and a half. I'm actually really liking the game. It's different than I thought it was going to be. It's not just a shooter. There's a lot of stealth elements and things to it. So, I'm enjoying myself, all right? Playing this game, having fun, all right? And I'm doing a stage. I'm actually very action-oriented, so I'm doing all this combat. And finally, I get a chance to look back to my stream chat, and guess what? The stream chat's frozen. Uh-oh, I know, I've seen this before. I look over at my stream, it's cut off. I said, I know exactly what's going on. I've been suspended again. So this time around, I'm like, okay, I really hope that I got some information on it, because last time I didn't get any information, right? Twitch didn't even send me the emails to tell me what had happened or why I was suspended, so I couldn't even issue the counterclaims to the false claims right away. I had to wait 4 days to get that information before I could even do the counterclaims. Well, this time around, they did actually send me the notices, so I guess there's been a very, very slight improvement to how this happened last time. I actually got notice. I got 2 notices. Alright? 2. Both notices say that they are from THQ Nordic. Both notices are referencing a name of a supposed employee at THQ Nordic and reference a very generic THQ Nordic email address. In the claims, there is 0 information whatsoever stating that, or any confirmation that they work for THQ Nordic. It's the most generic thing I've ever seen. No, no evidence that this is legit. Okay? And basically it says there's 2 claims. The first claim is against my actual live streaming channel itself. The other claim is against the video archive of the channel that goes live when I'm streaming. I use that video archive as a way of, oh god, if something goes wrong with my recording, I can still rip from Twitch and put videos on YouTube. Now, I don't have to have that video archive live at all. I could just never have it, okay? If I so choose, I don't have to have that video archive live. I could just delete it or make it set up so it doesn't auto broadcast or auto backup, okay? But anyway, 2 claims, not 1 but 2. 1 against the live stream, 1 against the video archive of the stream, both of which are just saying, so I work for THQ Nordic and I'm requesting this content get taken down. That's it. No evidence they work for the company, nothing. A generic THQ Nordic email that everyone knows it's public. So 0 information. Now here's the difference between what happened to me 2 weeks ago and what happened to me today. 2 weeks ago, there was this very elaborate thing that was set up. A fake blog post was created to look like I had stolen sub badges from a third party who was a contractor artist who makes these for people. Alright? It actually took about a day to 2 days for the information to come out that it was fake. People went back in time, contacted the people, or whatever. I can understand if Twitch got fooled by that, because at least in that regard...
Real fast, because I'm not going to let him blow... I'm not going to let him blow smoke up his own pork butt. Not on my watch. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the same idiot who fell victim to a fake PayPal statement, I think it was, when he was communicating back and forth to sell his statues for a large he was willing to donate some of his statues for a large contribution, and he was going back and forth with this guy, it was Super Meat Boy, I think, don't hold me to that, but he was going back and forth with him, being like, hey, I want to come by and help you, and help you out financially. I can try to contribute, I don't know, maybe it was $6,000, I think, because one time it was $9K, but that was someone different, I think. Then there was $6,000, then there was someone wanted to send him a brand new PC. Phil's had all kinds of messed up shit. He's fallen for a bunch of dumb shit. Point being, I think it was Super Meat Boy, $6,000. He said over a couple weeks, I think, that he would be willing to send him a large contribution. In return, he was interested in having a couple of Phil's old statues and maybe have him sign it. Phil spent, like I said, at least a week or 2 going back and forth and being like, okay, what stream are you gonna show up on? When you do finally give me that large contribution, I'll know it's you. Phil was taking pictures in the middle of the goddamn night or early in the morning. He was sitting there sending emails in the goddamn morning. He was postponing his pre-streams and whatnot to try to go back and forth with this nonsense. And right when Phil was starting to get to the point where he thought he was being conned, Super Meat Boy ends up sending him, under an assumed name, by the way, soccer player, I believe, sends him a fake invoice. And that was just enough, at least for a little while, to keep Phil complacent, to keep Phil, okay, well, you know, this is the invoice or whatever. Despite the fact that there was a bunch of things wrong with that invoice. There was times were messed up, all kinds of silly shit. But it was good enough for Phil because he saw the amount. The amount is what he saw, and that was the driving force for him. When it eventually did fall apart, when the whole sham, if you will, I won't call it a scam, but when the whole sham basically fell apart, Phil went ahead and was like, oh, this guy sent me this poorly designed and altered invoice that looks like a 12-year-old did it, and this, that, and the third. And he tried to minimize and break down Super Meat Boy to the lowest common denominator. But in actuality, it was Phil who looked like the idiot because you sat there and dealt with that shit for 2 goddamn weeks. It was like 2 weeks, I think. Something like that. You dealt with that bullshit for 2 goddamn weeks. Meat Boy ain't stupid. You are. You're the idiot. You're the dumb for sitting there and dealing with that shit for as long as you did. It was absolute. It was 2 people lying to each other. All because this idiot right here that you see on your screen was greedy for fucking $6,000 free dollars. And then, to only further elaborate on that, when Super Meat Boy was like, okay, when I send you the money, how soon can you send the statues out to me? Statue or statues? He was like, oh, I'll just go ahead and send it to you on my next day off. I can't remember when in the correspondence did that happen, but I think that was like on like a Wednesday or a Thursday. And Phil was talking about not sending his statues out to him until Tuesday, the following Tuesday. Think about that. Someone sends you $6,000 on a Thursday, allegedly, and you're not going to go ahead and mail out the statues that he's chosen ASAP. You're going to wait until the following Tuesday to do so. So Phil wants the money right away. He wants it right now in his hooves, but he's not going to send you jack shit until a week later almost. Think about that.
It was like an actual corroborating evidence. It was all faked, but it was still corroborating evidence to at least initially say, okay, this is kind of suspect. We're going to, we are going to take this down or whatever. Okay. In this case, there's no evidence whatsoever. 0 evidence that anything here is legit at all. 0. It's just
nice Nazi salute with the whole jiggly underarms. Also, good screenshot. Good screenshot. We got the bug-eyed look. We got the malnourished arm. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude! Like, that's just that's terrible. That's just so bad. Good screenshot though, nonetheless. Holy shit.
Generic email from THQ Nordic, a name of an employee from THQ Nordic, take the stream down. And they did it. Not once with the stream, but then with the archive, they doubled up and gave me 2 hits against my Twitch channel, which suspends the channel. Okay? Bullshit. This is terrible. Now, here's what I don't understand. Okay? Here's seriously what I don't understand. How is it this easy? How is it this easy for someone to just give generalized public information about a company, impersonate them, and get an actual copyright strike issued against someone on Twitch? Right now,
you didn't. Great screenshot yet again. Bug-eyed with, I guess you could call that duck lips. I guess. Nah, it's really more of a pig snout. Anyway, in actuality, ladies and gentlemen, this idiot should already know this because over a decade ago, when a company impersonated one of the game publishers, was it Ubisoft? I think. It's either Ubisoft or Rockstar. I always fuck that up. James Lester will. I'm sure James Lester or someone else will correct me in the comment section, which I very much appreciate, by the way. They ended up fucking him over on his Dark Side Phil YouTube channel. They hit him with a false copyright strike that took him down for X amount of time because they impersonated or they were impersonating, I should say, one of those 2 game publishers that I named. I think it might have been Ubisoft. And it took his channel down. And Phil had to fight and cry and complain about that nonsense until he got it back. And that was like his 2nd or 3rd major strike. Like, he was fucked. He was dead in the water. And that's the reason why, the DSP family of gaming channels or of YouTube channels even exists, which is DSP Gaming, King of Hate Vlogs, and at that time, DSP Street Fighter. That's the reason why all of those channels exist. Because of a false copyright strike that someone was impersonating a channel or impersonating a big company, and they got away with it for a good amount of time. Until YouTube actually reached out to the channel to verify if they really had done this and follow up on it, because they wanted to make sure no legal action came towards them. And they were like, we don't know who Darkside Phil is. We didn't do that. So whatever it is, lift it. And then he got his channel back. And then immediately abandoned it for something else. Keep that in mind. So yeah, it's been easy. He's been the subject of these type of attacks before.
First streamers way bigger than me out there. Couldn't the same exact thing happen to them? Couldn't someone just find the generic email of the company, the game they're playing?
It has. You're not fucking special. You're not unique. You're not public enemy #1. It has happened to other streamers before. It's happened to other YouTubers before. Jesus Christ. False strikes have been thrown out to people on Twitter.
Of an employee just say, take it down. Will they get the same kind of treatment? Will they have their stream immediately just taken down? No checking, no fact checking, no contacting anyone at the company. Just immediately just take everything down, right? See what I mean? Like, I don't feel that's the case, because if that were the case, no one would stream on Twitch. Every streamer has trolls. I'm sure every big streamer probably has just as many trolls as me that try to do malicious shit to them. Are you telling me that maybe there's some secret system behind the scenes that protects certain streamers and not others? Because I'm sorry, this is bullshit. 2 weeks
He's sitting
ago,
here saying that if it happened to other people, they wouldn't stream on Twitch. It's happening to him, and he still wants to stream on Twitch. The fuck is he talking about? This shit happens to people on YouTube, and they still want to make content and or stream on YouTube?
I can give them a pass and say, all right, it kind of looked legit maybe at first glance, and yes, they're shut down over the weekend, so that's why I got into the situation I was in. This situation is complete bullshit. Like, this is complete, utter bullshit. This is 100% nonsense. And there's nothing to even fool them. It's just generic information, okay? So if this is the case, then what protection do I have? Is there anyone I can talk to at Twitch? Is there something that can happen so my channel stops getting full? This is twice in 2 weeks now. The same guy. You know it's the same fucking guy. It's no one else doing it. It's the same guy. He's broken the law a million times before. He's going to continue to break the law. I mean, hell, he DDoSed me after the last snafu, the last scenario. He DDoSed me for 2 days, so I had to get a new modem to change my fucking IP address, and now I've been okay for about a week and a half of streaming, and now we're back to this shit again. Okay? So, what am I supposed to do? Alright? Like, how is this fair? Seriously, and I'm asking this publicly to all of you. How is this fair that this is happening to me? And only, it has to be only me, because how could other people not be affected by this? Honestly, how could other people not be affected?
It has to be me. This is the same idiot who has seen and talked about other people dealing with bullshit on Twitter, right? People on his platform and on YouTube who have dealt with the same problem. He's talked about it on Twitter. He's like, oh, I don't have those problems. Oh, they should have taken better care of their business. Oh, I got nothing to worry about. Oh, they already have a bunch of money. You know, why are they complaining? This drunken idiot, another good, Jesus Christ, Phil, you're a mess. This idiot right here said those things. He's on record for saying those things. But no one, it must not happen to other people. Why is it just him? Why is he the only one being persecuted?
I'm at a loss.
It's fucking Shaw Piggy Redemption or some shit.
You would think that everyone's in the same boat. But why is it that not every Twitch channel is getting shut down? Right? I just don't understand it. You know? So, my question is, what am I supposed to do? What on earth am I supposed to do in this situation? How can I continue in good conscience to stream on Twitch? I don't know. Because if you're telling me that no matter what game I play and no matter what I'm doing on Twitch, that anyone can immediately just take me down with no evidence or corroboration, and now I have to rely on Twitch's DMCA department to review and grant my counterclaims and restore the channel. Every day this could be happening. Like, literally every single day that I stream a different game, I could get false takedown, false takedown, false takedown. All this is doing, this is establishing an insanely bad precedent for Twitch. Anyone now, you're literally, like, what just happened to me, what you're telling the world of trolls out there is go to town on everyone. Get out there,
anyone now. This has been happening. But now, since it happened to Phil, apparently this is a new epidemic that's happening amongst streamers and content creators. Jesus Christ.
Everyone falsely, there's no repercussions, and there's no one at Twitch who reviews the situation at all. You just made it open fucking season for trolls to shut down every single person streaming on Twitch right now. You did. Like, you literally 100% just showed everyone how easy it is. Right? What else is this? There's nothing else that it is, and this is fucked up. This is a fucked up situation. This is not only going to affect me, this is going to affect everyone on Twitch. Everyone's going to start getting false takedowns now. And it's, what the fuck is the problem with Twitch that they don't realize that this is not a legitimate legal business practice? How can they think that this is anything?
Yeah, I was right.
But
That first strike that ended up taking the Darkside Phil YouTube channel down, it was Ubisoft. I always forget if it's Ubisoft or Rockstar, but it was Ubisoft.
Up. And think that this is legit and that they're not going to get in trouble for it. You know what I mean? Like, this is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. That this is happening. Now, here's the thing, guys. All right? I don't know what to do. I can't not work. All right? I can't not work. I can't not work this weekend. This is my work time. I mean, my days off are Tuesdays. I can't not work an entire weekend because I got suspended from Twitch by false DMCA claims. All right, I have to put out content. I have to make money. I have a job. My job is streaming. So if I don't get an answer tonight from Twitch on, number one, reversing these claims, and number two, if someone doesn't contact me at Twitch about this to solve this problem, I don't think I can work on Twitch anymore. All right, I'm just being honest here. I don't want to. I don't want to leave Twitch.
He's been saying, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that for the last 2 weeks. And if you leave Twitch, no one gives a shit. Like, and that's the thing that he's trying to instill in people. He wants people to care, but no one does. He especially wants Twitch to care, and Twitch don't have to. Twitch has options. You know what I mean? They have all of the options for the most part, especially with the fall of Mixer. Darkside Phil doesn't hurt anybody. They'll literally throw another piggy in there to grease the wheels if they need to. Hopefully better quality grease than what Phil's providing. It doesn't mean anything. And he's trying so hard to get that across to you, but because he realizes it himself. He realizes that if he leaves Twitch, Twitch ain't gonna give a shit. Just like the first time. He's not fooling anybody with this. He left 5 fucking years ago, or 5.5 years ago, whenever it was. He left it and they didn't blink. And look at how the site grew and expanded when he was gone. You think they're going to give a rat's ass if he leaves again? Shit, they might do better if he does. They should cut their losses.
Everything that I can possibly do to stay with them at this point. But if no one at Twitch is going to take this seriously and they're going to strike down my business repeatedly and tell me I can't make money because they keep fucking up, realistically, I don't see myself staying at Twitch. All right. Now, I issued the counterclaim about 45 minutes ago, and I'm hoping that they're going to take it seriously and they're going to grant it almost immediately. All right. See, I don't know, man.
See, still wants concessions made for him. He still wants to have a I'm sorry, just like okay. Yeah, like he thought I wanted grape and I told him I didn't want grape. I mean, I don't have a problem with grape, but you know what I'm saying? I was looking for, I want strawberry in particular. Anyway, it was he still wants privileges. You know what I'm saying? He still wants to be treated He still wants to be treated and prioritized over other people, and you're not going to get that. It's just the situation. That's the reality. I'm just saying. And just for the record, I have no problems with a grape slush. You know what I'm saying? I just want a strawberry smoothie. Like, Jesus Christ. Fuck.
Here's the thing. Even if by the end of today, even if Twitch reviews the counterclaim notices, grants them, restores my channel again, and I'm fine, well, I don't even know what to say or do. Like, should I go back? What do you? I mean,
did the other 2 times. Why would this be any different?
I would love input. The problem is, again, as you guys can see, with YouTube Stream Chat, it's impossible. I can't even read the messages. They're going, and half of them were trolls. I would like actual input from my longtime viewers and my fan, what I should do here. Because immediately, the only thing
at the end of the day, this is absolutely pathetic. He's literally, if you, in a lot of ways, actually, it's almost as if he's making amends with the fact that this is going to be the rigmarole from now on. That every week, or every other week, or whatever, he's been hit on Fridays as of late. He's just going to get knocked off, and he can't do anything about it. And he can sit there and bitch and complain and talk about how they should value him, and this should stop, and he may potentially talk to Nick Ricator or whoever else about this shit, but that don't mean nothing. None of that means anything. It's not going to help him. Legit, it's not going to help him. There are bigger streamers and or content creators than him who deal with this type of shit. It's a thing. False or not, it's a thing. And the world don't stop because Darkside Phil got hit.
I can do immediately is start streaming on YouTube. Right now, I could enable streaming on YouTube at higher quality than what I've been doing on Twitch. I can enable things like the super chat and the ability to get a paid membership to the channel. I can do all of those things, all right? But if I do that, there's a strong chance that Twitch then is going to say, well, that's a violation of our partner agreement and you're kicked out of the partner program. To which I don't even know how to respond. I'll be like, and I can't stream on your site because you keep giving me false DMCA claims. I can't have my channel shut down over and over and over because of you. So why am I going to sit here and cry about not being in the partner program anymore on Twitch when you literally just keep destroying my channel because your system sucks and you're not professional and you won't talk to me? That's the other thing. If they would just open a dialogue with me. Okay, here's what's going on. Let's figure out how to handle this. No one at Twitch will talk to me. 11 days ago, I asked for a new partner manager. The log was never even assigned. It just sits there new, untouched. They ignored it, okay? So I don't know what to do. I really have no clue what to do in this regard. And again, like I said, I cannot, the situation I'm faced with is it's like a rock in a hard place. And here's why I say that. I cannot not stream this weekend. I have to continue to play games and make money this weekend. All right? I just started Destroy All Humans. I only got to play an hour and a half instead of a 3.5-hour gameplay stream because of the bullshit. Tonight, I was supposed to play Street Fighter. Tomorrow, Ghost of Tsushima and the Return of Fire Emblem. More Destroy All Humans. And more Paper Mario Sunday night. Monday was supposed to be more Ghost of Tsushima and Animal Crossing. I can't not work for 3.5 straight days. It's just, I can't. I have to make money. So, what do I do? Do I stream on YouTube? That would be the easiest thing. All right, that would be the easiest thing, is to just start streaming on YouTube immediately. All right, you know, but at the same time, what if Twitch then says, well, you violated our agreement, you're out of there, right? I want to go, that's the thing, like, ultimately, I know it sounds stupid, but I want to go back to Twitch, right? I want to go back to Twitch. I don't want to stream anywhere else. This pisses me off. This is sad. This is 3.5 years of my life of full-time, 6 days a week being on Twitch, streaming and building a community. And I like the community we've built. There's longtime viewers and fans that I recognize that I have meaningful conversations with every single day, right? And I'm afraid that if I move to a different business, I will lose some of that. I will lose a lot
Nothing
of
is
people
gained without
who are
loss.
there because they like the Twitch interface, or you know what I mean, for whatever reason, maybe they just can't watch the YouTube streams. I don't know. It's not fair to people who have followed me on Twitch for such a long period of time. You know what I mean? To have to move over and, you know, like, it's just, it's like a lose-lose situation. It's a lose-lose situation for me right now. That's the way I'm seeing it. It seems like a lose-lose situation. If I stay on Twitch, if they unsuspend my channel again today, all right, the first thing I'll do is I'll disable the video backups. So the most they can ever give me is 1 strike against the channel at a time, okay? Which is better than 2. But I can't have the channel constantly shut down. Will Twitch step up now, seeing that twice in 2 weeks there's been false DMCA claims against me, and say, okay, we're going to take action to make sure this doesn't happen again? Or is it just going to be a blanket, okay, unban, and go about your business, it'll probably happen again tomorrow, tough shit if it does? Because I cannot do this. I can't do this. I can't have my channel shut down again and again and again for bullshit, all right? I need to have some protection. I need to have some assurance. I need to talk to someone at Twitch directly about this situation and to say, here's the situation, it's bullshit. I need to know what you're doing to make sure you don't keep shutting me down, okay? And if I don't get that, I don't think I can stay with Twitch, even though I want to, all right? Even though I absolutely want to stay on Twitch with that community that I built, and I want to keep those emotes, and I want to keep that fun going. I can't stay at a place where they're going to just shut me down and no one will talk to me about the situations. You know what I mean? And if anything, 2 weeks ago, you guys showed me, with that whole weekend where I was screwed up and I couldn't consistently stream on Twitch, you guys showed me that you will follow me wherever. It doesn't matter if I'm on Twitch, I'm on YouTube, if I decide on a third-party streaming service. Like, I know there's a few out there. Like, there's one called Bitwave, and there's another one. There's like 4 big ones. And, you know, you guys basically told me that the core group of people who like what I do will follow me wherever I go. All right? And I appreciate that very much. I do. I appreciate that level of support, and I'm happy for it. But at the very same time, I don't want to leave the place where I put so much time and work and effort into. You know what I mean? By the way, I should say this. Something else happened today on stream that was unsuspected. I never thought this would happen. And I think it's directly related, because this Superhound guy is so fucked in his head that he's just taking every possible avenue to try to screw me over. You know, 2 false DMCA claims 2 weeks ago, then the DDoS attacks for a day, so I had to get a new IP address. Well, I got an email today from someone who had created, guess what? The claims just got released. The claims just got released, guys, on Twitch. It was that quick, so it was about 50 minutes, not even an hour, and the claims were released. Okay?
So we're sitting here, as usual, ladies and gentlemen, going through the same doom and gloom. Oh my God, the world's coming to an end. Oh my God, what am I going to do for a living? Oh my God, what are you guys going to do if you guys can't all migrate over to another site to help me make more money? Which, not being able to, which, I mean, you're someone on Twitch, but you can't go over to YouTube. I don't get that. I didn't really get it when he said, oh, how are you going to... I have people on YouTube who can't go to Twitch, but it's like, all right, you can let some of that go, you know, for whatever reason. But vice versa? Whatever. I mean, unless you're in a country where, you know what I'm saying, both platforms are banned, or one platform is banned, which would seem odd that they would ban one but not the other, but semantics. But now, we look at our email after 50 minutes of all this, you know, pig snorting, and basically being like, oh yeah, they lifted the thing, guys. I can go back. I'm all good now. I'm great. And in the typical and yet tried and true method of being a fucking loser, we still have no tips at all and we have a giant zero above his head. If that's not poetic justice, I don't know what is. At the end of the day. And he always does this. He always does this. These stupid-ass pity streams about the world's ending and how am I going to get support, and I want to hear from my legit fans and whatnot, and I need you guys to give me money, and I don't really want to ask you guys for money. I don't want to be in this position. I want to play games, and I want to have fun, but all the world is against me, and they won't let me do it, to, oh, well, now everything's fixed, guys. All right, we're going to go back over there soon. I'm sure that's what he's going to say next, because that's what he said the last time he got unbanned, and the time before that. Wow.
Yeah, it's back. I just got the response from the DMCA department. But again, it could happen again. Like, right, I'll tell you right now, guys.
It's obvious that the response time is taking less and less and less. So you're going to have to deal with it. Yet again, he wants troll protection. Because this right here only shows him that, okay, well, they've responded even quicker than the last time. Well, why don't you guys just blanket protect me altogether? You guys want an example of that? I can give you one. When he got released from Curse, okay, when this is during their conversations that they had, Curse broke down why they couldn't keep him around. Phil says they didn't want to keep him around because, or they had to let him go, I should say. Let's give it the proper respect. Defiant sniff. They had to let him go because all of the troll reports that were coming in on him was outweighing the amount of money. The troll reports and the amount of money that they had to spend to have someone go through all of those false claims and reports were outweighing what he was bringing in. I actually believe that to an extent. But that's the reason why they let him go. What does Phil tell them? Phil's like, well, it's not my fault. I got these army of trolls, and they won't leave me alone, and they've been fucking with me for years. The very things that he's saying is the very things that these people already know about, which is the reason why they want to get rid of you in the first place. You're a fucking headache. You have too much goddamn baggage, and financially it's not feasible to keep you. But let Phil go ahead and snort along the way. And, you know, because of all these issues, can't you just ignore all that? You know, don't worry about paying someone to go over all of my reports in particular, which is the way Phil made it sound. It was like an 8-hour day every day. Instead, just avoid all that. Just ignore it. And just let me continue to stay on the platform. And Curse looked at him like, no, we can't do that. We'd be breaking an ethics policy in some way by doing that. Amongst themselves. Because if they go ahead and give troll protection to him, then they might as well do that to everybody else, and they can't afford to do that. And he's not a partner in that. And Curse had what, a 90-10 split? Sorry, all the bullshit that Phil brings to the table doesn't equate. It's not equivalent exchange. It was easier just to cut him loose, especially for only 10%. Fuck him. And that's exactly what they did. But this idiot right here told us that he told them, oh, just ignore it. You know I'm a good boy. Just you know, I'm just walloping in my own little pig pen. I'm not actually trying to hurt anybody. Just go ahead and ignore all those reports against me and just let me keep going. And you know, if they actually had considered doing it, or if they had done it, Phil would have ran amok around that bitch. And then he would have just gotten rid of the evidence, or which would be probably more editing than he's ever really done, and just been like, it never happened. It was those haters, remember? We talked about this. I swear I didn't do anything. Why the fuck would Curse take that chance? And then more importantly, he wasn't bringing in any money, which is the reality, which is the real crutch of the situation. He wasn't earning. When you're an earner, whether, you know, doing something legit or doing it illegally, you're going to have privileges. You're going to have perks. You know what I mean? Phil's not an earner. He's a taker. He's a beggar. You don't have places for shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to give them anything. And that's probably why he hasn't had someone watching his ass since 2018. Because even now that even though he's making more money, right? And no one can argue that. His viewership ain't shit. And keep in mind, when you send him a tip, ladies and gentlemen, through Twitch don't see that. You gotta think about that. Twitch don't see that. That money goes right into Phil's pocket. They get a cut of bits because you have to buy bits from Twitch to give to Phil, pennies, and they get what, half of his subs, or half the money from his subs. That's it. And they only probably see an influx of subs once a month when Phil's trying to hit a sub goal or something. That's it. And that's if he's even running a sub goal. Other than that, that doesn't mean anything. That's little to no money, really. And when it comes to bits, I mean, yeah, he gets a lot of bits, but they're pennies. Who gives a fuck? They probably only get maybe $100 in bits from him a month, maybe, which is fucking a drop in the greasy toilet compared to what most people make in days. What Phil makes in tips a month, people make that in hours. Easy. That's the comparison, ladies and gentlemen. That's big bank take little bank. But he feels that he should still be protected. Fuck out of here.
I'm not going to go over there and stream right now. I'm not going to go over there and stream games right now. I'm going to continue on this stream. I've only got about another half an hour I can stream before I was going to end a little bit early today anyway to make dinner for my wife. So I'm going to stay here. We got shout outs to do. What I want to do is I want to have a talk with you guys about what I should do.
Why do you need to make dinner for Catherine anyway? She can make dinner for herself. She usually does. That seems weird. I thought this was your livelihood. I thought you needed to make money, but you're gonna take a break, or you're gonna break ranks early so you can make your wife dinner. Since when has he ever been considerate? And what when we say make dinner, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, what we're talking about? Warming up some turkey patties, some hot dogs, or whatever.
Because I legitimately don't know what to do at this point. Okay? I legitimately don't know what to do. I need an answer from Twitch. I need Twitch. Let this stream and this video, someone knows someone who works at Twitch, direct them right fucking here. Dear Twitch, I need answers. I've been on your site since 2013. I've been a full-time streamer for 3.5 years. I love being on your site. I want to stay. You can't keep doing this to me. And I can't stay out with your business if you're going to destroy me every day with false claims. I just can't do it. And I need an answer. I need to actually speak with someone, not an automated system that takes me down and then I have to issue DMCA counterclaims every stream I do. I need a human to intervene and speak with me about this issue, or else I can't in good faith continue to be on Twitch. I cannot have this be my business and have my business shut down every single day because you have an automated system that doesn't actually verify these claims. This is illegal what this person is doing. They have now broken the law 4 times, and 4 times you granted their illegal request. I can't keep doing this. I don't want to leave, but I need answers. All right? So I'll tell you guys right now, I'm not going to stream any gameplay right now. I'll talk with you guys for about a half an hour till I end this stream. And then tonight, I'm going to attempt to stream on Twitch. I'm going to try to play old school Street Fighter and see what happens. And if I get taken down again, I'm done. Like, I don't know what else to do. I'd be done because there probably isn't going to be anyone there to even respond and reverse everything. Okay? So I need answers. And no, I'm not expecting Twitch to come here to the stream. I'm saying they have my email. They know my email address. They're sending me emails right now. They know my email address. Okay? They have the information. They can't keep granting false claims or else I have to leave. So someone at Twitch needs to get in contact with me about this situation so that we can resolve it. Okay? Fair enough. So right now, let's talk for a bit. I have shout-outs to do. Update the leaderboard shout-outs to do. We'll talk until I'm not, until I was going to break anyway. Tonight, I'm going to attempt to play Street Fighter and we'll see what happens. Okay? All right. Let's get the shout-outs. First of all, someone impersonated Almighty Tevin and tipped me $5. This is not the real Almighty Tevin. This is an asshole. But basically, this guy actually kind of gave a sentiment that I agree with. So basically what he's saying is, even though I have detractors and they don't like me, they don't want to see this happen. My detractors don't want to see my channel get shut down because they like watching the streams and making fun of them and doing their kind of content. How can they do it if I can't stream? How can they do it if there's a fake asshole out there impersonating and shutting everything down? They don't want that. I agree there. I would
just find somebody else, to be honest. Or what people like myself and like Agent Proper do, for example, Mighty D to some extent, is just go back through the archive upon archive upon archive of Pig Sloth and go through that shit. There's a fucking gold mine of shit out there. There's many gold in those Galtopian hills and whatnot. And just because I have a flag out there, just because Agent Proper has a flag out there, don't mean that it's not open for the rest of y'all. You know what I mean? That's what happens. His past is way more fascinating than the shit that's going on now anyway. It usually is. More often than not. Shit, that's the reason why I started a whole nother channel for it. So, I mean, and then what? Then you just move on to the next locale. There's a bunch of absolutely fascinating people out there. And there's some really despicable people. Big ups to Ghostly Winds, by the way. Ghostly Winds ended up putting me on this one individual recently who's a legit piece of human fucking garbage. An absolute piece of fucking trash. And the fact that YouTube still allows this individual to exist is fucking crazy. It is fucking silly. If Ghostly Ones listens to this, if he chooses to, he can leave a link, or he can tell you guys more about that shit. I don't want to talk about it. That was insane. But that was an extremely ridiculous find, to say the very fucking least. There's a bunch of fucking asshole garbage people who are entertaining locales out there. You know what I mean? When Phil falls, everybody will transition into something else. Pure and simple. The world will move on without Darkside Phil. Let's be honest.
That even my biggest critics and my biggest trolls still want me to be able to stream, because they want me to be able to put out content, because that's where they get their content from, right? So this whole thing, even the people who don't like me wouldn't do this.
Keep in mind, though, the majority of your talking points are about detractors. So if you want to try to establish the fact that detractors, trolls, haters, and critics are dependent on you, you very much have a codependency on us. It's an endless cycle. At the end of the day, because that's how you make money. Because you theoretically make money off of us, if you think about it. Because you use fear-mongering to get your audience to fall in line to give you money, or to just play off of plain sympathy, which is disgusting, by the way. But that is what you do. So, who really needs who? Most detractors don't profit off of their content. And the ones that do certainly don't make what you make. So who's really winning? Who's really getting the best out of the situation? Oh, those opportunities and everything that other streamers have that are not afforded to you? Look at you. Look at you. Who the fuck would want to endorse anything and put your face next to it? Think about it. Jesus Christ, I'll take Pokimane with no makeup over you. Just saying. Sorry, Mr. Potato Head. Sorry, champ. You came out of the oven a little bit undercooked. Don't worry. I'm going to go ahead and work that out with Kat later. Just saying.
Trolls would not give me false claims and shit, because they want me to be able to continue so that they can continue, right? Respergoo tipped me $5, so that would be the first official tip with an actual name attached to it. Okay. And Respergoo says, I would strongly suggest you take a break from Twitch and start streaming on YouTube. Stay strong. So I appreciate the suggestion, but again, my concern is, if I take a break from streaming on Twitch and I start streaming on YouTube gameplay with everything enabled, super chat, ability to subscribe to the channel, just like you could do over there on Twitch. If I do that, Twitch might kick me out of their program and say, you violated the terms of the partner program, you're out of here. In which case, they're right, but at the same time, how is that my fault? They are the ones who are letting someone commit crimes against me over and over and over, and they will not talk to me about it so that I have recourse. It would be
what about all of the despicable bullshit that people like yourself, people like Pokimane, Low Tier God, and other people abusing the copyright system on YouTube? What about that? Oh, it wasn't a crime when you guys were going around giving false copyright strikes over bullshit that was clearly transformative, right? Or clearly fair use. But when it happens to you, all of a sudden, this platform, which I love so much, continues to let criminals come in and, sorry, this is going to be fucking egregious, but virtually rape me over and over again. Basically is what he's saying. He's virtually being violated over and over and over again, but yet he wants to stay with the people who allow the violations to continue. That's weird. That's almost on some crazy battered wife syndrome type shit. And if they're not listening to you to stop the attacks, then why do you think, like, what would make you think the attacks are going to stop? Like, at the end of the day, you need to be a man and make a choice. If this platform is going to keep fucking you over or allowing you to be fucked over for the last 2 goddamn weeks, maybe you need to take a break from the platform. Oh, well, he's got a contract, yada, yada, yada. Break the contract, ask to have your account deactivated like he did the first time, and go to YouTube and deal with it for a couple months. It sounds like he needs a hard reset. Yeah, Twitch will keep letting him back on just so they can let him get kicked off. Eventually, Twitch is just going to be like, you know what? Let's just not let him back on. Sorry, Phil, we can't help you. You're just too much trouble. You're too much of a mess. Which kind of goes back to, why would you want to assign one person to him again? He's too much of a problem. There's too much bullshit going on around him. And if he can't ring that in, I mean, why do we need to deal with the headache, if you think about it?
If Twitch was like, someone contacted me and said, Phil, we heard your concerns. We appreciate that you're being affected. We're going to go out of our way. We're going to try to fix this for you. Don't stream on YouTube. Okay. 2 thumbs up sounds good to me. Nah, well, you get banned, you get unbanned. You get banned, you get unbanned. You get banned, you get unbanned. You can't work. You can't work consistently. Don't stream on YouTube? Huh? That doesn't make sense. Okay. Roy tipped me $4.20. He says, Twitch being dead set on only automated support these days makes situations like this needlessly difficult to resolve. I agree with you. I'm actually happy that these guys just got back to me within 45 to 50 minutes of me issuing the claims. I'm very happy they did that, but they're not there on the weekends. I can tell you that they're not. I know for a fact they're not there on the weekends to process stuff, because this happened last time. They didn't respond till Monday. I sent it on Friday. They didn't respond till Monday. So that's what I mean. Like, you can't rely on a system that's like that and then not have people there 24/7 to help. If a false claim can be issued 24/7, and a false claim will be granted and your channel suspended 24/7, then you need to have staff there to reverse the error 24/7, and they don't. I don't know how they think that's a valid professional business practice, because it's not. Hollow Knight tipped me $5 and says, what's to stop this from happening on YouTube as well if we were to go there? Well, there's no guarantees, and in fact, the truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter where I go, there's always going to be a risk that this could happen. But if I go to another site, let's say I go to a smaller site, like a Bitwave, or I know there's 2 of them. What's the other one? If anyone gives me the idea, there was 2 other ones that was like, they were the biggest competitors to Twitch and YouTube streaming, and I can't remember what it is. Obviously, it's not Facebook Gaming. It's the other independent one. What the shit is it? Does anyone remember? I can't remember. DLive, that's it. DLive. Yeah, DLive and Bitwave. I would think that if I go to those, that I have enough of a following and a viewership that I'd be able to speak with someone directly and say, listen, I'm coming to your service, FYI. Expect an influx of people, probably positive and negative.
Bitwave and DLive is not going to give no fucks about that, because they're basically freedom of speech sites. They're not going to protect you. You really think you were going to go over there and get troll protection? No, you're not going to get troll protection. Shit, whichever one of those sites, I can't remember which one it is that Ralph is on. He's currently getting shit on for getting other people that he's having disagreements with kicked off. I think it's DLive. So no, you're not going to get troll protection over there. And you sitting there and talking to them don't mean jack shit about jack shit. They don't care. They don't give a fuck. Live with it. Deal with it. So stop. You're embarrassing yourself.
But can we do something? Because you know false claims are going to be coming in, that you don't entertain every single one, because it's ludicrous. You know, not a single company in the history of me ever doing anything on the internet has legitimately hit me with a copyright strike. 12 fucking years, every single one was either done in error or completely falsified. So it's not going to happen. Can we have some protections put in place? You see what I'm saying? So I would hope that if I go to a smaller place, they'd be able to speak with me directly and say, okay, let's fix this, let's protect you. Obviously, I don't want to do that, especially if I'm going from somewhere like Twitch to a smaller place. That's going to be even, you know, probably less stream quality. I don't know. They probably won't have the server capacity. Who knows, right? I don't know. Now, here's the thing. On YouTube, I've been on YouTube since 2008. And my DSP Gaming channel, I would guarantee you, my DSP Gaming channel gets false claims against it daily. And it never gets affected. Very few times has it ever been negatively affected. In 2015, there was the whole debacle with Fanart and shit, and that got cleared up. In 2018, which is the last time I had a copyright issue on YouTube at all, it was someone was impersonating a Rockstar employee. And they said that they wanted all of my part 1s taken down of my Rockstar, including... At that point, I think I was doing my second run of Red Dead Redemption 1 to prepare for Red Dead Redemption 2's impending release. Grand Theft Auto, like every Rockstar game I'd ever played, Bully, they requested part 1 be taken down. So I immediately wrote to my partner support email, which I have over at YouTube, because I am a YouTuber with a certain amount of subs. I have an exclusive direct line of contact with support there. And I said, I 100% believe these are fake. Can you look into it? And within one day, they said, they're all fake. We're clearing them all up for you. Okay? By the way, when that person did it, all right, they were grouped together. So, for example, right now on Twitch, this guy put in 2 false strikes against me. One was for the stream itself, and one was for the archive of the stream. Okay? Well, guess what? On YouTube, they grouped all this guy's false claims together into one claim and only gave me 1 strike because of it. And then I got it cleared up within 24 hours because I have a direct line of contact over there. You see? But the thing is, like I said, I would guarantee you I get false claims against the YouTube channel all the time. This motherfucker doing this now to my Twitch, I'm sure he's done it to my YouTube channel. And if you haven't noticed, my YouTube channel has had 0 negative effects towards it. So I get the feeling this guy's been trying it, and YouTube must have something in effect to make sure that I'm not getting hit with the false strikes constantly. Every once in a while, maybe one slips through the cracks, all right? But I'm not being slammed on YouTube with fraudulent shit every day like I am being slammed on Twitch now 2 weeks in a row. So, I don't know, guys. You know, I don't know. What would, you know, what's going to happen in that regard? If I were to go to YouTube and try...
Ladies and gentlemen, let's just go ahead and establish the reality. Times have changed, man. Whatever perks, whatever special, however special they made him fucking feel, whatever the case may be, 3 years ago is different. And he thinks he's going to come over to YouTube and think, oh, well, because I have this contact or whatever, that's going to save me. We all saw what that did with Susie Lou. And that shit evaporated quickly. Extremely quickly. He's not going to come over here and get troll protection. He don't even have it over there. Not anymore, anyway. He's definitely not going to get it here. And he knows that. He knows it's going to be an absolute fight if he comes over here. That's why he's doing everything in his power not to. He wants the money, but he don't want to deal with the bullshit. And that's understandable. But keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, the whole situation that he's in, this whole scenario is of his own making and is his own fault. He could have, if he had straightened his bullshit out years ago, if he had acted like a decent individual years ago, he wouldn't be where he's at now. He wanted to do everything his own way. And he reaped what he sowed. That's the reality. That right there is the takeaway, of this whole saga, is you reap what you sow. You made your bed, now you're gonna have to snort in it. You live by the grease, you die by the grease.
It might work, and I might be fine, have no issues, or I might have tons of issues, you know? I have no idea what would happen. None. So, you know, you're right. There is potential. The same issue could happen on YouTube. You're absolutely right. But there's also potential that maybe it wouldn't happen. And I think I might have some better protections over there. Yanks to me $1 and says, Twitch, let's see here. Twitch is not treating you with respect. Dump them. We will watch you wherever you go. All right. Well, thank you, Yanks, for that support. I appreciate it. Okay.
He's still not going to go. He still wants to hold out for the comfort. He wants to hold out for the illusion of power and safety that he once had. It's literally, it's legit like it's legit almost like a battered wife type situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like someone who, oh, they're not a bad person. Oh, they just got a lot going on right now. Oh, they didn't always treat me this way. It's like that shit. It's legit like that. And to their girlfriends or whatever, or to people close to them, oh, they'll sit there and vent all they want, but when they come home, they're like, oh, I don't want to leave. I want this to work out. I want to make this work. That's legit what this is. Absolutely. And my strawberry smoothie is here. Good shit. Appreciate it. No whipped cream, though? I mean, I don't mean to be a dick about this, but no whipped cream? Damn.
Shadow the Hedgehog tipped me $10. That's the biggest tip today. He says, try Mixer. Mixer's shut down, dude. Mixer's gone. They don't exist anymore. In either case, I'm only on Twitch because of DSP. Without DSP, I would just quit Twitch, so I don't care for Twitch outside of DSP. I'm sure, Shadow, that some other people are also in agreement with you. Okay? People have told me that is the case for them too, that they're only watching Twitch because of me. That's why they're on Twitch to begin with, and they don't watch anybody else. So I'm sure there would be people like you that's the case, but I'm sure at the same time there would be a lot of disappointment for those who were longtime supporters of me on Twitch, losing all the emotes, showing that it's such a long-standing supporter. You know what I mean? This sucks. Niku in the stream chat just said, isn't it annoying that they're doing this when you're playing new releases? Of course it is. Right? Dacky Swerve says the Twitch manager I'm speaking to says they're looking into it. Dacky Swerve, you have a Twitch manager? What Twitch manager? If you're serious, please, yes. Anyone who has any contact with Twitch employees, help me. I don't know what else to do. I don't want to.
So sad. So sad. I didn't know Dacky Smurf was connected like that, if that would be considered connected. But, and you're just waiting until now, Dacky, to talk about that shit? It sounds like trollish. It sounds troll bait, but still, it's still entertaining nonetheless.
Twitch. This is ridiculous. Have them contact me. They know my email. They just sent me emails. They have my email address. Okay? They know how to contact me about this situation, and I really need help. Okay? Alright. Continuing on. So, by the way, thank you, Shadow the Hedgehog, for the $10 tip. Harry Butthole tipped me $5 and says, sorry about everything going on. On a less negative note, have you decided on playing Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2? No, I have not decided. I don't know what the modern game will be like. I did play
I think that shit will be fun, to be honest with you. Especially, I mean, I guess depending on how the skill tree will work, depending on, obviously, what type of vampire you end up going with or what bloodline you decide to associate yourself with. That might be fun. That might be kind of cool. I mean, and he's closer to a vampire than most of us will ever be, so I'm surprised he won't play it. You go around suckling on people for nourishment. I mean, shit, that's right up his alley. I mean, yeah, he's gonna actually have to do shit, which is probably not up his alley, but you know, what are you gonna
do? No lie, when I was in high school, that's the last one I played 20 years ago. 20 years ago. And I have no idea what the modern ones are like, so I have not decided. Thank you for the tip. Golden Colts just cheered 60 bits. It says the channel is back. I'm well aware of Golden Colts. Gerard Crow tipped me $1.30. He says, legally speaking, there's not much Twitch can do. They can't legally stop anyone from making claims. DMCA requires that claims be easy to make, hence why YouTube has their content ID system. Gerard Crow is actually correct to some extent. Allow me to explain. The DMCA, if you don't even know what it stands for, DMCA's Digital Millennium Copyright Act. The act states that services like YouTube and Twitch must have a system by which people can submit these claims. However, they do not force these places to immediately strike down content. They don't. It's not true. It's not true at all. People just believe that because that's how some of these businesses are handling it. That's not true at all whatsoever. In fact, as long as a business can actually justify the way that they've handled it, that's good enough. Because really what it is these businesses don't want to be sued. Let's say, for example, Sony actually didn't want someone streaming one of their games. So let's say I was playing Last of Us Part 2, and actual Sony themselves struck me with a takedown request, okay? Twitch doesn't have to take my channel down right away. Twitch can take the information, have someone verify it within a certain reasonable amount of time, whatever it is. I don't know what the law says. The law might actually say you have a certain amount of time to take down a request or whatever, okay? But they can actually have someone review the information to confirm that it's legit or not, and before they issue the strike. But, I'm absolutely positive that the DMCA, that act, says that if that service, Twitch, YouTube, whoever, doesn't entertain every claim and doesn't take down content that actually is legit within a certain amount of time, that they will be hit with penalties. Like, they'll be legally responsible. So if Sony actually wanted to take someone down playing The Last of Us 2 on Twitch, and Twitch ignored it for 3 days, Sony could say, well, you went over the time period allotted, we're going to hit you now, we're going to sue you because you left the content up. Now, in reality, would Sony ever do that? No. Sony would never sue Twitch because Sony's not going to get anything out of it legitimate. It's not worth Sony's time to be going about nickel and diming everybody. It's not. It's ludicrous, but what they are so afraid.
Yeah, they can leave people like you to do that for them. To be honest, I mean, if you think about it, that's what Phil's going to do. I mean, what's going to happen when Planet Jeff's wife's insurance money runs out? You know what I mean? What's going to happen when Rob Warren's disability runs out? What happens when Super Blind Man's disability runs out? Not to say that it will, and I certainly don't hope that it does, but you know what I mean? That's all he do. It's even more egregious because of the fact he preys upon the disabled. It's a shame. It really is.
And actually getting sued, that they have systems that are just instant takedown, and then the content creator after the fact now, okay, has to now somehow fix the issue. But I didn't create the issue. I'm not breaking the law. Why do I have to try to figure out what someone accused me of and clear it up on the back end? I did nothing wrong. Why does my business get hurt? And why do I have to lose work time and revenue because someone else is breaking the law and lying? The system is not correct. That's a broken system. That you punish someone who's done nothing wrong because a troll gets away with it. That's bad. What Twitch needs to do, just like other companies all need to do this, no auto takedown. I don't care if it's a legit claim or not. The claim has to go in, and there has to be some level of verification that the information is at least semi-correct before a takedown gets issued. You can't just destroy someone's fucking business and livelihood because you are lazy. I'm sorry, that's exactly what this is. It's laziness. Because there should be a system in place for this to handle it before a website like YouTube ever allows every single person on the internet to upload any piece of content they want willy-nilly. They should have a system in place to regulate that content. Not everyone uploads and then after the fact we find out that it's not legal and now we actually have to fix it. It should be we fix it. We have a system in place first. And they don't have a system in place that's legit. That's the problem. Twitch right now apparently is in trouble with DMCA, so they instituted this blanket policy. Everything just gets taken down with no review. No, you can't do that. Legally, that's wrong. That's actually wrong. And if there was a class action lawsuit against Twitch for this, they would lose the lawsuit. You can't do that. You can't punish someone legally when they've done nothing wrong. You have to have evidence. You can't just say, oh, they did it wrong. Oh, that's it, punished. I've given you guys this situation before. I'll say it again. Let's say, for example, I owned a restaurant. All right? An Italian food restaurant. And it's open in a business, and someone on the internet says, man, that restaurant isn't abiding by healthy practices. I saw that a guy back there wasn't wearing gloves, and he was coughing on the food, and the food looked like old, and I ate, and I got sick, okay? What legally has to happen when an accusation goes against a business? I'll tell you what happens. Someone has to get involved, a legal entity. In this case, it would be a food inspector. Would actually have to, or you know, a business inspector, health inspector, would actually have to show up at that business and say, I'm going to do an inspection to make sure that nothing is bad here. And they would perform an inspection of the business, and they would cite violations, and then that business would either continue to operate or have to pay fines or whatever. It's not, oh, I got an accusation online that your business is bad. I close your business. The fucking health inspector.
First off, there's a process to stuff like that. I'm pretty confident. First thing is, one, no one's going to call the restaurant and say, I mean, few people who do that, I would assume it's a bluff, but few people who have a real issue with a restaurant don't call the restaurant, especially if it comes down to like a health safety code type thing. You just call the health inspector and be like, hey, this restaurant is doing such and such, such and such. If they get enough phone calls in a very, very short amount of time, by the way, they'll just run up in there and be like, hey, you're under inspection because of such and such claims. Pure and simple. It's usually like a blitzkrieg type situation where they go in there and they'll run amok and they will find those type of violations. And based on what they find and the accusations made, if any of that coincides, then the place just gets closed down. Now, granted though too, it also depends on what jurisdiction you're in. I'm sure a lot of that stuff kind of comes into play as well. But there have been plenty of restaurants who have had one call made to them, they run into that bitch, and after like an hour, like, yeah, this whole place shut down. And you got like a week to like bring everything up to code. You know what I mean? Or if any of you guys watch like Food Network or Cooking Network, I occasionally do, and you see like the things with like the like restaurant fix-ups and bullshit like that. You see that shit all the fucking time. You know, now don't be wrong, don't take the show completely to standard because that shit's staged. At least most of it is. But there are plenty of reports for that. What's that guy's name with the crazy hair? Guy something. Like I can't think of what his name right now is, but Guy something. He actually has a restaurant. I think it was in Atlanta that got closed down because that shit wasn't meeting code, and it'd been like that multiple times. Multiple times they got hit for pretty much the same offenses and whatnot. And obviously there's no proof of this, but it's alleged that he just kept paying people off to get him back open, and so on and so forth, until like the last time a couple years ago where they literally went in and revamped the whole goddamn place. Like, when you're talking about the health code in general, like I said, it depends on the jurisdiction, but they can run amok, they can run in there and close your shit down. Don't think that they have to sit there and, you know, be like, oh yeah, we're going to come in and you have this, and this problem. You have such and such time to do so. If they're minor, sure. But if they got shit that really affects that of the public wellness, they will shut your shit down. Now keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is the same idiot right here who sits there and says, oh, when he was suspended, I should say, the first time off of Twitch, this was years ago, or a couple years ago, he said that they shouldn't have taken me just offline like that. Someone should have came into my chat, or someone should have had messaged me behind the scenes and said, hey, we're going to take your stream down, or hey, you need to take your stream down, and then we're going to ban you. Phil legit said they had no right to ban me in the middle of my stream, because what if my fans, you know, get worried about something going on or whatever. Fuck you and fuck your fans. That doesn't mean anything. If you violated the rules, then you violated the rules, and action needs to be taken right then and there. And that's just on a streaming level. Now you want to talk about food? And Phil is someone who barely can cook himself. You know what I mean? Because he is a potato. And then the potato lady who lives with him can only cook so much, apparently. So they rely on outside people to cook their food for them. So he, of all people, should understand what goes into food safety, preparation, storage, and so on and so forth, and how it could affect the general public. No business is immune to that. Even the big businesses, like I said, they can get shut down multiple times. But that only costs them money. Not only the businesses that they have to bring in, but sometimes the money to fix the problems, or just the problem for payoffs to just get shit back up, or greasing the spoon, if you will. The fuck's he know about that? He hasn't had a job in 10 years. What does he know?
Come with yellow tape, warning hazard tape, and tape the front door of the restaurant closed and say, until I get a chance to show up to your business to verify something's bad, you're closed. That's not what happens.
If people turn up sick, that does. What was the name of that cult that was out there? Funny enough, what was the name of that cult? Or it was a religious sect or whatever. It was a cult though. But what was that religious sect that went out to some rural? I don't know if it was Montana or somewhere in the Dakotas, or some shit. This was years and years ago, and they poisoned. I'm pretty sure it was Midwest, but they went out there and they poisoned a bunch of restaurants and the food in those restaurants. And like all these people ended up showing up to the hospital with the same goddamn symptoms. They went to all those restaurants and were like, "You are shut down." Before they even walked into that bitch, they were like, "You're all shut down." They ain't shut every restaurant down in that like little town and shit until they could figure out what was going on. They shut them all down. And like I said, keep in mind, that's a district type situation, and each district has more power than the next, I'm sure. But yes, they can do that. If they feel it is against public health, right, they can do that. And they will do it. And they will. What the fuck?
Haven't. Legally, they would have a leg to stand. If they did that, you could sue the fuck out of the government, and you would win. You would win tons of money in damages. Okay?
Yet again,
Twitch-
I don't know why we got this broke bitch talking about suing people. That makes no sense. Because it's obviously he doesn't understand how the law works. It's weird how someone who has no money, has no legal experience, and barely has enough common sense to wipe his own ass is going to tell you guys how the fucking law works. And if they were actually legit in the wrong, you still wouldn't sue the government, you moron. You would sue the district.
Cannot do this. Twitch cannot keep shutting down
the district
channels.
in the county, or the county, one of the two, or both. Actually, you probably could sue both. He could probably sue the state too. Now I think about it, but you don't sue the fucking government, you moron. Jesus Christ.
Without verification, it's not legal to do so. But no one's going to sue them because people want to continue to work on Twitch. I'm not going to sue Twitch. I don't have the means. I don't have the time. I'm just going to go somewhere else.
What the fuck are you sitting here throwing out idle threats for, bitch? If you can't do nothing, then shut the fuck up and get back to work. Like legit. Like he legit sounds like for any of you guys who have worked minimum wage jobs when you were young, he legit sounds like the grumpy old dude, right? Who's been doing the same goddamn thing for like 30 or 40 fucking years, right? And bitching and complaining about that shit, talking about, oh, well, you know, if I came in here and I went ahead and ratted out everything that we do wrong, I could sue this place and shit, I get all this money. Then do it! If that's the case, if that shit makes you really feel bad or you really feel like you're being taken advantage of, do it. And none of those guys do it. None of them ever do it. They talk that hot shit all day in, day out, and they never do it. I remember my first office job, the same shit. Some old dude that had been there for like 30 years and just finally, and only got as high as like middle management, used to bitch and complain and be like, you know, I could go ahead and make complaints and shit and get the HR involved, and you know, so I could rip this whole place to cinder. I think I've told this story on here before. I was like, okay, you gonna do that anytime soon? And then he just walk off to the next person and bitch and complain. Like, come on, dude. Like, that sounds like the type of bitch Phil is. Well, that is the type of bitch Phil is. You sitting over here making all these idle threats and don't have any plans of acting upon any of it means jack shit to who? Like, this isn't a rallying call for anybody. You're literally just talking to hear yourself talk. And that's fine. But then be transparent about it. You know what I mean? Don't sit there and rail off on this shit for 40 minutes and then say, I'm not going to sue anybody because I can't afford it. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong, Phil? You can't get anybody to do pro bono work for you? Nope. Not at all? You're not going to go ahead and run into Nick Recada's DMs and beg and plead for him to do it? No? All right. I was just asking. You know what I'm saying? Because it's funny, too, especially about the Nick Recaida situation. How are you going to shit on a man and his credentials, who you don't even know what his credentials are, by the way? Meaning Phil. You're going to sit there and Phil's going to shit on Nick's credentials. And then the first sign of big trouble Phil gets in, he runs immediately back to Nick and asks him for help. I don't understand that. Like, there's no pride in any of that. How the hell are you going to besmirch somebody's name, so to speak? Not that Phil could really do anything to Nick's name anyway, but how are you going to sit there and talk shit about a dude and then run to him for help mere weeks later, run back to them for help? That's insane to me. That's insane to me. And Nick's definitely a better man than I am because I wouldn't have, well, I'm a pup, so whatever it is. But, like, he's a better person than I am because I wouldn't have fucking helped Nick, Phil for that bullshit. Like, fuck out of here. Go and get yourself a real lawyer then. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. In air quotes. Go and get yourself a real lawyer, you know what I'm saying, since my credentials aren't good enough for you. Fuck off.
It's happening. I can't, in good light, in reasonable mind, I cannot keep working at a place that any day will entertain a bullshit claim against me without any verification. Okay? So, Gerard Crow, you're correct. All right? You're correct in a case where you're saying that Twitch doesn't have much that they can do because they can't stop anyone from making claims, and DMCA says it's easy to make. They have to entertain them. You're right. But they do not have to blanket punish people with no verification. That's bullshit. That's complete horseshit. That's factually untrue. They need to put a system in place, especially in a case like this where now I've gotten not one, 4 false claims against me within a 2-week period. They've shut down my business 3 times. They need to put something in place. Okay, red flag against Phil's channel. If someone puts in a claim, we have to have a human verify it from now on because we now have repeated illegal activity against Phil's channel. And we make sure that that doesn't happen again. Now, oh well, hands off, no responsibility, fuck it. And then Phil just keeps getting punished. Can't have that, you know? They need to have something in there, okay? Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. If this were the case, all right, YouTube wouldn't do what they do. And I know exactly what YouTube does. When you provide information, YouTube will go back to you and ask for more information. We need you to actually verify who you are. Can you give more corroborating information? Can you do this or that? They do not just blanket take down content on YouTube anymore. They used to. They don't anymore. I know it for a fact. So, bullshit. Right there, someone in the stream chat said, oh, they have to take it down immediately. Wrong. You are fucking wrong. There is a step in between where these businesses can legally verify if it's true or not. And a lot of them, like Twitch, are skipping that step. And that's the problem. Okay. Continuing on. Shipe tipped $1. He says, there's no DMCA laws on PWDub's island. Little joke there. Well, thank you very much, Shipe. I think that going to PWDub's island in Animal Crossing is the last of my concern right now. The Shield Forever tipped me $10 and says, just give up on Twitch. They don't care. You should go somewhere who cares. I mean, I'm not going to lie. All right?
He can't.
I'm not going to...
Stop. He can't. He can't do nothing. All he can do is talk out of his ass and take what pennies that are sent to him. What is he? Been streaming over an hour at this point and only got $37? That shows how much people care about you.
Lie. I'm starting to feel that way. I'm starting to feel like, sadly, being on Twitch since 2013, being a full-time streamer since early 2017, that no one there cares. Because if they did, at this point, if someone cared, it's twice now in 2 weeks, someone would reach out to me and say, Phil, I'm sorry this happened. I'm someone who actually works for Twitch. I want to work with you directly to figure this shit out, not just keep granting it over and over, you know? I'm starting to think that there's no one cares. And if no one cares and no one's going to help, besides, oh, DMCA counter notice is processed or whatever, I can't keep working there. You know what I'm saying? Okay?
I can't keep working there. I thought he owned his own business. Now he's starting to sound like an employee. It's okay, Phil. The first step to fixing the problem is identifying who, where, and why there is a problem. You are taking the first steps. You're taking the first steps. You, as you said in 2017, are not a business. You are a worker. You are an employee. And that's okay. But you have to accept that first. Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 of these episodes, we might have progress. We might be breaking through to them. It's not bad. Not bad.
2B Booty took me $1.30. Says, whenever your Twitch is suspended immediately... Oh, okay. Here's their suggestions. All right, this is their suggestions of what to do. All right. Step 1. Whenever your Twitch channel gets suspended, immediately head over and start streaming on YouTube with only tips enabled, like I'm doing right now. Number 2, fix the counterclaims in the background. You mean like I did right now. Number 3, stay on Twitch until they perma-ban you or they give you more protection and support. I mean, okay. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. So what they're saying is just stay the course. Don't abandon Twitch. either get permabanned or, you know, either get permabanned or maybe they'll eventually reach out to you.
That's literally just patching up a sinking ship. That's legit what that is. The ship is already sinking, and just try to patch up the holes as much as you can, and not figure out a way to get rid of the water that you've already taken in. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Oh, yes.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that suggestion. I appreciate that. Okay. Charles tipped $1. Says, I got on your YouTube stream late. Your channel seems to be working for me. I don't see it suspended. It got unsuspended while I was streaming this. I got the emails from Twitch saying they granted a counterclaim request again. But the point I'm making is, how can I continue to work over there when it seems like they're going to entertain every single false takedown request? That's the problem right now. Okay? Midnight Syndicate to me $5. As an ex-detractor who fully came around to enjoying your content this year, I have to say I am sick and tired of the shithead messing with you. If Twitch doesn't talk to you directly by Monday, you need to leave them behind. I wonder how many people are going to feel the same way. Honestly, I wonder. Because I'm starting to feel that way too. I think the first time it happened 2 weeks ago, alright? The first time around, okay, bear with it. But now it's the second time, and people are starting to realize it seems like this isn't going to end, you know? Pretty shitty. No, that's correct too. So Richard Thompson says there's no step in between. They're liable immediately. YouTube is big enough and good enough with lawyers that no one will take them to court. Been that way for over 20 years. I understand. But what I'm saying is there can be a step in between. You're absolutely right. They're legally reliable, but no one's going to sue them. No one's going to sue Twitch. No one's going to sue YouTube over you didn't take down my content the moment I issued a claim because you didn't verify it was legit. No one's going to do that. That would benefit absolutely nobody to do that. And the court would laugh at them. You know, like this, it's what I mean. Like, okay, the DMCA, the act itself is written poorly. That a strike comes in, immediately the content must be taken down. Okay? But all right, YouTube doesn't do that. YouTube, I can tell you, verifies more information before they'll just take it down blanket. Okay? Why? Because YouTube knows it's ludicrous. It's a bad law. It's stupid, and no one's going to sue over it. So Twitch can do the same thing. Twitch has just as much clout. Twitch is much bigger at streaming than YouTube is. Amazon? Are you fucking kidding me? You're going to tell me Amazon isn't as big as Google and can't do the same thing? That's horseshit.
What incentive do they have to do it, though? Just throwing it out there.
Let's see here. Harry Butthole to me $5 says, what if a fan donated Vampire? I don't know when it releases. I don't know if it would conflict with the game. I don't know when it releases either. I checked the game release schedule last week, and it wasn't on there. So I don't think it has a solid release date yet. Maybe potentially if someone donated it, I would consider playing it, okay? Super Cowboy King took me $4.20, and he says, would you ever consider playing Steins Gate or Danganronpa V3 in the future? Well, and then he also said, they'd be more interesting to watch than Divinity Original Sin 2. Well, I don't know. Steins Gate, I don't even know what the hell that is. I think it's some kind of an RPG, maybe. As for Danganronpa, that's in the poll for viewer's choice, so it's very possible I'll be playing that in the future. No lie, like I might be playing it as soon as later, or August. It's not August yet, but sometime in August. Okay? Well, Gerard Crow tipped $1, says Twitch absolutely can just take people down immediately. They have it in their terms of service to reserve the right to take down any channel for any reason. There's no law they're breaking. It sucks, but there's nothing illegal going on Twitch's side. I'm telling you right now. Alright? I'm telling you right now. It ain't gonna last forever. It's not. It's not gonna last forever. Either they're gonna get sued, or they're gonna change. You cannot keep doing it. You cannot punish people for not doing anything. You cannot have, okay, the law is bad. Fair enough, the law is bad. So guess what? Don't abide by the letter of the law. So for those of you who don't know, because you probably don't know this, I learned this in school. There's two things when it comes to the American legal system that are constantly up for debate when it comes to court proceedings. There's the letter of the law, and there's the spirit of the law. The letter of the law means going word by word exactly by how a law was written and abiding by how that law was written, okay? Means there's no room for flexibility. There's no room for error. It's just you go exactly word for word by how the law is written no matter what. Then there's something called the spirit of the law, all right? Now, this is a much better philosophy.
You literally want them to skew the law to fit your fucking argument. You legit want to go here with this. You legit want to go here with this. This is coming from the same fucking retard who has tried to take every shortcut he can in life, now wants the law to be skewed his way. If that was the case, when SOPA and PIPA was a thing, maybe people should have skewed the law so people like him don't become content creators, or they have to be taxed, right, to play video games online and do it for profit. Maybe they should have done that. Maybe that should have been a thing. And figure out a way to skew that shit. The fuck, man? Jesus Christ.
Here's why. The spirit of the law in the American legal system means we understand that humans are fallible creatures. Humans cannot be perfect in the way that they word things, and also human beings cannot foresee the future. We can't see how in a month, a year, a decade, how things will change in the world, culture, technology, the legal system itself. We don't know how things will change. So because of that, we don't abide only by what a law says word for word. We take a spirit behind the law and we interpret it to mean what the original creators of that law meant. And in reality, a lot of the times court rulings get
no. What you're trying to do is skew the law to fit your narrative when you need it to. If that's the case, you could take one law and keep fucking with it over and over and over again as long as it fits the situation you need to fit it. Let me give you an example. It's a bad example. Let me give you an example. So, like I said, I like talking about, or I like reading about the mafia and the underworld and shit like that. Okay, so one of the major laws that they get fucked with, that the mafia, that has kind of dismantled a lot of that shit, or at least has hindered it, is fucking RICO. Now, the RICO law is set up in such a way to, one, prove that there is a group that is operating as an organization. The crimes that this organization is committing, the people who actually are in charge of that organization, right, and anybody else who profits from it. It's way more precise than that, but I'm just going to broaden it out. RICO is set up in such it's set up in such a way that you could legit be fucked for any type of reason whatsoever. You can, let's say, for example, me, James the Lesser, Agent Proper, and Sunspot Gallery. Let's say three of us are mob related. You know what I'm saying? And one of us isn't. One of them's just riding in a car with us for whatever reason. We're going to SnortBucks to get a couple of fucking SnortBucks coffees and shit and whatever. And then we ride back. He goes on his way, and the three of us go our way, or whatever the case may be. Just by him being in the vehicle with us, and if pictures are taken with him, that person right there is automatically put as an associate. So, for example, whoever that associate is, right, if they are ever implemented or implicated in a crime, or potentially could have been implicated in a crime, someone could go back into her file and be like, oh, he's been associated with these three guys, and we know these three guys are into some shit. So then they can use that person's freedom as leverage against us later on down the line, or against him, depending on what the situation is. And keep in mind, there's way more that goes into that, because it's not just catching you, like taking a photo of you. Can they prove that you've been with us for any type of period of crime? Can they prove that you have any type of connection with us outside of a social connection? Like it gets ridiculous when you start getting into the situation of running a continuous criminal enterprise, was the actual term that I was using for. That just people who are associated, you know what I'm saying, can be fucked even for just walking down the street with a dude. You know what I'm saying? And that shit's been caught on surveillance or whatever the case may be. That shit gets ugly. The thing is about RICO, though, is you have the law RICO, right? And then it branches out depending on what the government, what the FBI, whatever law enforcement need to try to do to get you in. And that's one of the things that people, excuse me, like for example in like Italy, right? Because they deal with their shit over there, like the Camara and all them, which are way out there when it comes to the mob, bringing way more money, and they do a lot. Anyway, they the United States have tried to get other countries to also like adopt RICO, and in doing so, because of how the law is implemented in America and how it's written and how expansive it is, like, you could legit get fucked for doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could legit, as an associate or just someone who, you know, some of these guys but you have nothing to do with them, or vice versa, you could literally get fucked, like proper fucked, for next to nothing, damn near. And keep in mind, you're not even the person that they want. They want those guys, and they can use you as leverage to do so. The law is insane, and the law is so flexible that just off what Phil is saying here, it bends and contorts to how they need it to. You know what I'm saying? Here's the, just to give you guys an example. Here's the situation. The law is set up in, I'm not a lawyer, obviously. You got to talk to Nick about that shit. The law is set up in a way to govern, basically. And there are certain situations that apply to that. How often do laws get changed? Not very often. They're set up the way they are, and that's it. Now, granted, a lawyer or a defense attorney or a prosecutor, whoever, can bend that to kind of fit their needs, but the law is still the law. So for Phil to sit there and say, oh, times have changed, circumstances have changed, so we still believe in the law, but we're going to implement it in such a way to go ahead and skew it. That's how people go to prison for not doing shit. That's how innocent people go to jail or prison. That's why innocent people get executed for shit they didn't do, and then the government got to turn around years later and pay out tens of millions of dollars to their families and relatives for skewing the law. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't get to flex the law the way you want because you feel like the law doesn't work the way you want it to work. That's not how it's been implicated or implemented. It doesn't work that way. Yes, as times change, do laws need to be changed to fit the crimes or fit the circumstances? Absolutely. But you don't skew it for every little petty shit that happens. That's why crime still exists the way it does. That's why we pour, billions of dollars into anti-drug programs and shit like that, and yet there are more drugs that come into the country year after year after year. You don't get to play with the law as your own personal fucking sandbox at the end of the day. Do laws need to be changed? Do laws need to be updated? Do laws need to be flushed out a little bit better so people have a better understanding of how this should work? Sure. But using the spirit of the law it starts getting into how you interpret the law. There's a difference. And he's basically saying we should interpret the law this way so we can skew it to this search so it can be used for this particular situation. Well, not everybody interprets the law the same way. That becomes problematic. That shit starts to become dangerous. Or it can be. So I want you guys to think about that for a minute when this idiot's talking the way he's talking. And then more importantly than that, who the fuck is he to say anything about how the law should be interpreted or how it should be implemented or whatever when he don't vote? He don't vote. So what gives him the right to say that the laws need to be changed when he's too lazy to get off his ass and actually go out there and vote? If you don't want to use the mail-in ballot, I can understand that. Like, I legit understand that. But then if you can't use it, if you don't want to use the mail-in, I don't know if they have an electronic one. Most states do. Then show up and vote. And he won't even do that Matter of fact, this idiot right here had a hissy fit a couple of years ago when other streamers were telling people, hey, you guys need to go out and vote. Your vote is important. Your voice is important. Your opinion is important. He got mad that other content creators and other streamers were advocating for people to go out there and vote, saying that they have no right to do that, that no one better not tell me to do that. No one ain't talking to you, asshole. But he has the nerve to tell you how he thinks the law should be implemented. Fuck out of here.
By appeals courts and other proceedings because of the letter of the law versus the spirit of the law was followed in a ruling. All right? So, the spirit of the DMCA law is we want everyone who creates a creative work to be protected. We don't want anyone to have their content stolen. It's unfair that people would immediately say something is theirs that's not. The moment that you create a digital work, we want it protected under a copyright law. And that's the truth of the matter is in the 1970s,
what you do is theoretically stealing. Because you didn't put no money into the development of the game that you're playing for profit. That game was not made for you to sit there and profit off of it. It was meant for personal entertainment. You're only allowed to profit off of it on YouTube or on Twitch because they allow you to. The law doesn't say that you have the right to. That's what intellectual property is. That's why he doesn't run around saying that dumb shit about, oh, I bought into the fucking license. He didn't buy into jack shit. He owns nothing. He paid for the right to play the game in his personal space and surroundings. If he bought the license, then why can't he redistribute the game then? Why isn't he out there making multiple copies and passing it out to people? Because he can't. Because he doesn't have the rights to do so. And redistributing something is no different than him playing the video game and putting it online for profit. It's a form of distribution. He owns nothing. He created nothing. He put nothing into it. He bought it for his own entertainment, or someone else did.
You had to file an actual legal thing to copyright it. That changed in the 1970s when the DMCA turned it into immediate rights for digital creations. I'm making a video. This video I'm making right now, as I'm making it, is protected under copyright law. No one has a right to take this video, rip it, and upload it word for word unedited on their channel on YouTube. That's illegal because the copyright is being created automatically the moment I create this via the DMCA. That's a really good thing about DMCA, all right? But there's things about the DMCA that are not.
If that's the case, I can't remember what game it was. It might have been a Persona game. When you couldn't beat that game and you went on YouTube and you broadcasted somebody else's ending to that game, you theoretically ripped off someone's copyright, didn't you? Because that wasn't your transformative work. I don't know if it was Persona or not, so don't hold me to that. But that wasn't your transformative work. You took somebody else's work and attached it onto yours. Did he not break the law? I'm just saying. Did he not break the law? It's different for everybody else because he has said publicly that detractors can take my content and do whatever the fuck they want with it. But that person's content, did he get their permission to do so? I'm being an asshole about this, so don't take me too seriously. But did he get their permission to do so? Sat there and played a game for God knows how many parts, couldn't finish it, and then attached somebody else's ending to his playthrough. Semantics.
Not good. Like this immediate, you must immediately take stuff down. That's ludicrously bad. All right, it's bad. What it should be is, okay, content owner or copyright holder makes a claim. The business involved must actually verify it's real, and once verified that it's real, content gets taken down. Not take the content down, then verify after, or in this case, just take the content down and never verify at all. Put the burden on the person who's accused of the crime to fix the issue. How is that legally, that makes no sense. If you think of it, whoever made the law never foresaw that there would be people like Superhound who would be doing this. But you mean someone would actually repeatedly break the law and do it over and over and be at risk? Yes, because the internet is anonymous and people can get away with it. But the people who wrote the DMCA didn't understand what they were doing when they worded it the way that they did, and didn't realize that they were giving untold power to people to anonymously mess with businesses over the internet. They had no clue. So what needs to happen eventually, the law needs to be amended to be fixed so that we don't have this punishment for the innocent, and then they have to prove their innocence, but now they can't do business, okay? We can't have that. It has to be fixed. But we're in a situation here.
That can be said for any law, to be honest. And my main gripe about all this is he should have talked, if this was really a hot topic that needed to be changed or needed to be addressed, I should say, he should have addressed this years ago. It's funny how we only wait till now, when we having problems, when we're in the thick of it, to go ahead and bitch and complain about this. If this was really an issue, this should have been talked about years ago. See, he didn't want to do that though, because it ain't slowing him down, it ain't hurting him. He's still collecting free money doing his hobby, in air quotes. It didn't bother him.
The law is not being abided by, just the letter of the law. Well, guess what? YouTube has learned, and YouTube abides by the spirit of the law. They ask for corroborating information after the initial claim. They want to verify your identity and make you prove that you are who you say you are before they issue the takedown. I'm sure they don't always do a good job, because I've heard that even in regards to my content, okay, that there people have said that people have impersonated me and had stuff taken off of YouTube. It's never been me. I swear to you all. I swear,
you're a
God's
goddamn
honest
liar. There are fucking messages that prove that it was you. There were messages that prove that it was you, and you got the nerve to sit here and say it wasn't me. I swear to God. I swear to God that I had nothing to do with it. Oh, we going the Monday Matt route. Didn't Monday Matt swear on his kid? Well, if that is his kid, but swear on his kid, on his girlfriend's kid. There we go. Monday Matt swore on his girlfriend's kid that he didn't have anything to do with those with flagging anything down. What ended up happening an hour later? Oh, yeah, I did it. I was in a bad headspace. Yeah, it really was me. So you lied to us the whole time. Yes, I did. Matt, say that you're a soy-filled cuck and whatnot, and you're sorry for taking people's flagging people's content down. I'm a soy-filled bitch. You're a soy-filled bitch for taking for flagging people's content down. And he sat there and said it. He actually said it because he actually did it. And he swore on his girlfriend's kid that he had, and swore to God that he didn't do it. I guess God don't mean much, and certainly I guess that kid probably isn't yours anyway. Probably don't mean much either. So I'm supposed to believe Phil is telling the truth when he's been caught blatantly red-handed, red-hooved, communicating with someone talking about flagging people's shit down. Fuck out of here.
I don't issue takedown requests against anyone on YouTube ever. Not a single takedown request on YouTube done in my name has ever been legitimate. I've never done it. Now, some people told me Machinima used to do it.
Eyes darting everywhere. Eyes darting everywhere when that whole exchange is going on.
I never did that. I never requested for that to happen. If they did it of their own accord. That wasn't me. I never personally went and issued any takedowns at all. Okay? But people are telling me their content's been taken down in my name. Recently, as recent as last week, I received an email from YouTube. This is true, a true story. And the email said, "We have received copyright takedown requests from you." Okay? And we actually want to verify if these are real, because after reviewing the information, we think they're fake. And I responded and told them directly in email, those are not me. Someone is impersonating me with public information that's out there. Like, I was doxxed the moment I moved here 6 years ago. People knew my name.
First off, you had business cards. Okay. All right, let's get it. So, in Connecticut, he zoomed in a Connecticut house tour. He zoomed in on an envelope that had his address on it. He's had boxes in Connecticut that had his address on it that he was too lazy to break down and throw away. Didn't this motherfucker pass out business cards with his fucking address on it? His full name and address on the shit? And he's going to sit there and talk about he's been doxxed. Also, it's funny how when Detractor Twitter was under attack, and then the top 3 restreamers on YouTube, Dark Dave Mirrors, LSB, and Almighty Tevin got hit, and people were like, hey, did you have anything to do with this? Or, hey, can you say something about this? Oh, I didn't have anything to do with it, so I can't do nothing about it. But now he's saying that he was contacted about supposed or suspected, or, yeah, some suspicious takedowns, and then all of a sudden he has the power to say, oh, it wasn't me. Please go ahead and retract those because I had nothing to do with it. So he couldn't do it when the restreamers were taken down for like 2 or 3, well, for like 2 months. But he can do it if he's directly contacted by YouTube, supposedly. Within the last week or 2, or whatever he said. That really makes sense to any of y'all? Wow.
Of course people knew my name. But my new address, they found out my phone number via the dumbest method.
You dared people to come find you. When he moved from Connecticut to Washington, he legit dared people to come find him. He said he's in the gated community. He said no one's ever going to be able to find me. You know, I'm perfectly safe now. I'm done with all that. And they found him. Just like when he put that shit out on Cat, and it was like, oh, Cat has no. When Cat first got there, excuse me. When Cat first got there and moved in, he was like, oh, there's no. You know, there's nothing about her on the internet. She doesn't have an electronic footprint. You know, there's nothing out there on her. She's completely and totally disconnected from social media. The moment that first picture, those first couple pictures he put up on Instagram, within like 15 minutes, we knew exactly what her old shit was. We found all of it, just about. What the fuck?
GoDaddy.com, which people please do never use GoDaddy. I couldn't believe it. I registered a website in my name, and I had to give them my phone number in order to register the site. They publicly listed my phone number on the internet. They said, oh, well, you have to pay extra money for us to hide your information. I didn't know that. They basically doxed me.
Wait, what?
Without, you know,
okay, first. What? Okay, so you registered for a site on GoDaddy. You had to use your phone. You had to use your phone number as part of the registration, which makes sense because they need a way to get a hold of you, and they usually ask for 2 steps or more. They asked you to pay another fee to hide your identity, and I'm assuming you didn't pay it because why would Phil do that? He doesn't pay for anything, or he doesn't want to. They tried to get. They wanted him to pay for additional protection. He chose not to pay it, and then he got fucked. And he said he didn't know that. What the fuck you mean you didn't know that? You just said that they offered you a plan to hide your fucking identity. Did you not know what hide your identity means? He's legit retarded. He's legit retarded. I can't. I can, but I can't. I'm sorry. I need a second. What the fuck?
I had no idea that was going to fucking happen. So my phone number went out there. Okay? So now my address, my phone number, just that basic info is enough to probably do a false claim in my name. And so I'm glad that YouTube finally did reach out in email form and ask me, is this you? And I was like, no, none of these claims you're getting are from me. And by the way, that was about a week and a half ago. I've gotten nothing
a
from
week
YouTube
and a half
then.
ago. People on Twitter actually showed that they were being flagged by someone in your name, and you said that you couldn't do shit about it. That's the first thing. Secondly, this caveman. This caveman was offered a chance to pay a little bit of extra money to hide his identity. He didn't understand what that meant, or he was just being fucking, as I would expect, he was being cheap and didn't want to pay them So they made his shit public because obviously, you know, if he felt like he had nothing to hide, it is what it was, and someone found his shit through that. They offered you a plan to protect your identity. Sorry. You didn't want to pay it, and then you got mad because people came looking for you. Oh my god. I don't get it. I don't understand. This dude had the nerve to sit here and try to convince you guys that it's okay to skew the law the way he wants to be, the way it should be, to fit a circumstance that you needed to fit. But this fucking retard doesn't understand what identity protection is. Oh my god. Alright, let's move on. Let's just move on.
What I would guess, and this is just a guess, that when YouTube got that from me, they said, oh shit, okay, so it's not legit, and they just stopped granting the requests. Hopefully, I hope that's what happened, but I haven't heard anything from them since then. So I would hope that that's actually what happened, and they learned, they got smart to it, they got wise to it. Okay?
He's legit trying to justify why he deserves troll protection. Oh my god. He literally went full retard just so he could try to make the argument that he deserves full troll protection. Oh my Christ.
Thank you guys for your contributions. I appreciate this. So here's what's going to happen. All right, I'm going to end this stream, and I'm going to upload the pre-stream, one and a half videos, because really it's about an hour and a half of gameplay of Destroy All Humans. I'm going to upload all that to YouTube right now, and this video is going to go live automatically because this gets auto-archived on YouTube. All right? Now, I mean this. Please, if you know anyone who works at Twitch, I don't care if they're a manager or if there's someone who just has a contact at Twitch who they could talk to. I need help. I don't want to leave Twitch. 3.5 years of my life, full-time work committed to building a community over there. I don't want to lose that. I don't want to leave. I cannot have my channel repeatedly shut down for fake stuff. I just can't have it. So I need help. I need someone who's going to work with me at Twitch to stop this problem. And I really hope that now that this happened twice, and now I'm publicly saying if I don't get an answer, I'm out of there, that I'll get someone. I'm hoping for the best. Like 2B Booty suggested, keep streaming. If I get suspended, stream over on YouTube temporarily, you know, like I'm doing right now, until I get unsuspended. Keep going back until I either get banned or this gets settled. But you gotta understand something. I can't just keep having my business disrupted. It has to be consistent. It has to be smooth. My viewers aren't going to be pleased. I'm not pleased. I have to be able to consistently put out content. So I can't have fake shit happen to me constantly. Okay, I just can't. I need someone from Twitch to contact me. Show them this video. Explain to them the situation of what's going on. Tell them I want to work with them because I like their business. I want to stay, but I can't be mistreated constantly and treated like a criminal when I'm doing nothing wrong. I can't have my livelihood and my business ruined by a troll who's now done it 4 times and they still have not learned. Okay? Alright, guys? Alright. Adam Goodhart took me $5. It says, free Phil, he didn't do it. Thank you very much, Adam Goodhart. Well, the good news is, again, I am free. But I'm not free to not have the same thing happen. That's my issue right now, is the same thing could happen again. And that's what I'm worried about. Alright? Alright, so in summary, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to shut this stream off. I'm going to upload what I did record on Twitch to DSPGaming on YouTube right now. I'm going on break. I'm going to come back tonight. I'm going to try to do my regular Street Fighter stream on my Twitch channel. We'll see what happens. Alright? Hopefully nothing happens, and maybe this weekend nothing will happen, but maybe it will. If something happens, I'll come over here to YouTube. We'll stream temporarily. If I don't get a satisfactory... If I don't hear from Twitch directly on this issue on how to stop it from happening, alright? And if I get no satisfaction over this weekend, I think this coming week I got to start streaming somewhere else. There's no way I can consistently stream on Twitch when at any moment, alright, any moment, I could be shut down for something I didn't do, be called a criminal and be shut down. I can't do it, okay? So let's see what happens. I'm hoping for the best, but let's see what happens, okay? Harry Butthole tipped me $1 and he sent me an email about donating in a game. All right, I'll give that a look. Thank you. All right, guys, so that is it. Thank you for hanging out with me for a little bit. I hope you understand the situation now. Let's hope for the best. Tonight, hopefully you'll join me for Street Fighter over on Twitch. And hopefully this doesn't happen again. If it does, over the weekend and I can't get it resolved and no one at Twitch will talk to me directly on it, I'm going to have to get out of there and do something else. All right, guys? Thank you. And I'll see you hopefully tonight for Street Fighter. Peace out, guys. I swear I didn't mean to do that. I always clicked the wrong thing. Sorry about that. Okay.
Oh man. Oh man. I knew the last part out usually was gonna be rough. I kind of made peace with that. It's just there's just so many problems here and shit. And my example for Rico could have been a lot better. Jesus Christ. The fuck, bro. Like, oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, give me a second to like get my shit together. And then I'm gonna give y'all final thoughts and then we can move on. The next video we can move into some fun stuff because Jesus Christ. I'll see you guys in I'll see you guys in just a minute. Holy shit. Oh my god. That was legit painful. Holy shit. Oh my god. First a smoothie with no whipped cream, and now this. God damn. Today is not starting off right. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so actually the smoothie was delicious either which way, but shit. And I'm appreciative to the person who was able to bring that to me. Thank you. Okay, so the saga is over as far as I see it, to be honest. At least for right now. We're at part 8. I really hope it don't go to a part 9. To be honest. And if they do, then make it the finale. You know what I'm saying? Make it the fucking finale. Oh my god. He is sorry, give me a second to get this together. He's fucking delusional. Like he's fucking delusional. Like, you see that you have no protection. You see that people don't value you or anything like that. Dude, just ask to have your account deactivated. Take like 6 months, go to YouTube, deal with that shit there, and then go back. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's an option. You sitting here and believing that Twitch Twitch should conform to you or to your situation or to your circumstances, fucking ridiculous. You need the site. The site don't need you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the reality. The site doesn't need Darkside Phil. Darkside Phil needs the site. Same thing with YouTube. So, that's the first thing. Secondly, if Amazon wanted to have or wanted to do a video sharing website, they'd have done it. They'd have done it. But they're not gonna do it because they don't give a fuck about ads. To be honest. They don't give a shit. That's not a priority for them, at least not right now. So there's no reason to go down that route. So just because it would be convenient for you or other people like you doesn't mean they need to do it. That's what it means to actually have a business, ladies and gentlemen. You can run that shit the way you want to run it because it's yours. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that separates, so to speak, I'm gonna simplify this, but the only thing that separates Amazon from the customer, or that separates Amazon and the money they make, is the customer. And customers come to them. They don't have to go out to the customer and try to peddle their wares. Here's a website. You want to buy from here? Come buy from here. There you go. They own the infrastructure. They control what goes in, what comes in, and what sends out. DSP don't have that. DSP has to hope people will come into his air quotes infrastructure, his storefront, and then he has to go ahead and put on the monkey outfit and dance and hope that either people are entertained or they feel sympathy for him. That's what an e-beggar is. That's why all he does is beg. In closing, ladies and gentlemen, let me try to be concise about this at the end. Let's try to finish strong. Let's try to finish strong. At the end of this, ladies and gentlemen, he is vulnerable. He doesn't have the protection no more, which just goes to show exactly how reliant he was on that protection. He is not special. He is not a priority. He is not someone who needs to be coddled. Twitch don't feel that way. YouTube don't feel that way. And for all the times he had bitched and complained about how YouTube won't help him, YouTube's never helped him, how I figured out things myself, the lady or whoever that they assigned to me didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. And then he's talking about now, oh, well, I could go to YouTube and I could get, immediate help no matter what. My apologies on that, excuse me. I can get immediate help, and they might actually be the better site outside of the chat is ridiculous. It's ridiculous for you to talk shit about something or someone one day and then sing their praises the next day because they're your only option. That's ridiculous. And no one can respect a person like that. No one should respect somebody like that. It's ridiculous. Fundamentally, it's ridiculous. And any person who can't stick by their word is not worthy of your time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. I say that for me, I say that for anybody. If a person can't stick to their word, then they're not worth your time. Just being point blank with you. It's ridiculous that he thinks he can go through life like this, and he can continue to go through life like this. He legit thought that Twitch was gonna be his job for the rest of his life. How much longer did his ass clown really think he was gonna be able to keep doing this? He gets worse and worse by the day. Every video that I've done in this series, if you will, I should probably make a playlist for it, but it'd be fine. He looks worse and worse by the day. It was literally like, I gotta admit, because Asian GTG, our intern, and Kevin saw this. Like some of the screenshots when I said, oh, that'd make a good screenshot or that looks good or whatever. And they said, real talk, they really thought it was like he was dying. Video to video. Like he looked worse and worse as the videos went along. And at first I just took it as a joke and I thought it was funny. But when we went back and actually looked at it, like some of the screenshots, it actually did look like that. Like he was slowly but surely falling apart. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to keep saying, oh shit, that's going to make a good screenshot. Because I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep doing that. But when you look, when you actually taking away the fact that I'm a detractor and all that bullshit and everything, and just looking at him as a human being, which is hard because he don't value nothing. So it's hard to kind of look at him as a person because he doesn't value anybody else. I'll be blatantly honest with you with that. He's falling apart. He's slowly but surely cracking. That was one of the last, I think, Twitch was one of the last pieces, one of the last platforms of his ego. Oh, nothing can happen to me here. I'm always going to be safe here. And now he don't have that no more. It was just like watching him break on YouTube back in 2017 when Machinima dropped his ass. It was just like looking at that. And in actuality, this might be worse. Just something to think about, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying this to drum up sympathy for that asshole. Fuck him. But if I had to ask for you to step out of the whole detractor bullshit for a minute, and you look at him as a person, it's as I've told you, he has way too much riding on this internet popularity bullshit. Like this shit, it's funny how he wants this so much, but he's not willing to work for it. It's very, very strange. It's very, very strange. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. And I'll see you guys for hopefully something fun to laugh at the next time we reconvene. Hopefully sooner than later. Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. Oh yes, a GTG networking productions for hard snorts, gin and tonic. I've been your host / anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. Take care of yourselves. Go enjoy your day. At this time, SnortBucks should probably have something out funny, so go and watch SnortBucks and whatnot. Check out a lot of the detractors out there. You'll find there's some really talented people in this community and whatnot, and the broadcast.